What's going on, y'all? What's going on? What's going on? Oh man, it is just another day. So thought this ninja was dead. Hysterical. Sorry. Look, I don't stream for a few days, and I knew it too. I was like, hey, I bet you my subscribers like, is Z okay? Z ain't streamed for 3 days. It was almost 4 days. Almost 4 days. Was it, or maybe was it 4 days, almost 5 days? Yeah, something like, right. We in here, we in here, we here. Oh, not only did I not stream, I didn't pop on anybody's channel, did I? Yeah, that part too. Z's here. We alive. We breathing. But I do have. There's a lot of stuff to cover. We have some stuff from the female accountability, the Black Women Accountability Department, the accountability department, as Edward Anderson would say, as Ed would say. We have some stuff from that. I have some stuff I want to cover from TYT. We might get to that tomorrow about this man keeping thing, which is weird. Even to even to liberals, this thing is weird. Black women and other women, Latinas, Asians, y'all taking this way too far. Y'all are just losers that can't get or keep a man. The dating scene sucks for you, and so now you sneak this in, and everybody's realizing it. Even other women are calling y'all out on it, right? Rest in peace, Kevin Samuels is a bunch of single women keeping other women single, by trying to shame them with this weirdo talk. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. Um, so we're going to play this first. I'll end out with the funny. We'll start off with something interesting. Did I get this brother's name? As a matter of fact, y'all gives you a second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. I did not get the name of this brother's channel, or page, better yet, because I want to shout him out. Y'all gives you a second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. God damn, I can't find the brother's channel. I can't. Well, I can't find his page name. My apologies, y'all. That was a pause for no reason. It was there you go. Can't find the brother's page name, but we're gonna play this. Somebody in here gonna know who the brother is. We're gonna we're gonna start off with this because there's a conversation that needs to be had about women in particular with this preemptive "I don't want you anyway," right? We already know the "you can't fire me because I quit." So it's the sneak this in because you ain't gonna get what you looking for anyway, right? So we're gonna play this, and it's gonna lead into that conversation. Somebody shout out the brother's name when y'all see him. I tried to shout him out. I don't know his name. Well, yeah, I thought I was subscribed to his channel. Apparently not, but yeah, I thought I liked some of the things. I guess I just downloaded him. And somebody shout him out, and then we'll shout him out after this video. All right, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat.
I feel like one of the nuances missing from the women aren't dating anymore, women aren't in the dating pool, they're leaving men, is that ain't no fine shit out here, okay? The men are ugly. They look tired, smelly, gross, okay? Nothing. When was the last time you saw a hot-ass man in person? Quit.
It's gotta stop, man. It has to stop at some point. At some point, it has to come to an end. I think at one point in her video, she said that the men look tired. Yeah. Gotta keep the change.
Now, it's a shame because she has a pretty face. She giving me Shaka vibes in the face, right? Shaka Khan vibes in the face, and a whole lot of blubber, huh? This is what we're talking about. That sneak dissing. Not you talking about who's unattractive. Not you, huh? This is what we're speaking about. Not you talking about who's unattractive, right? Y'all gives you a second. We just gonna talk anyway. But yeah, but this look like I'm gonna have to move from my trusty dusty spot. But yeah, not you talking about who's unattractive. This is what we're saying. And what a waste of a cute face, ma'am. If there's an afterlife, oh, you gonna get. If there's a God, he'll be like, hey, look, what was the point of me giving you that face? If you're gonna hide it behind a bunch of blubber, huh? This is what we're speaking about. She sneak dissing, talking about who's unattractive, or and then we've all seen the women that keep on calling them. I guess the new term for unattractive is chopped. Shout out to Gen Z with their slang, right? And these women talking about who's chopped, and then you see them, and you're like, I don't know if you want to be the one sneak dissing or just straight up dissing about who looks good and who doesn't. I don't know if you want to be the person doing that, ma'am. And that's all that this is. We're living increasingly atomized lives, right? Y'all gives you a second. We're living increasingly atomized lives. And the way women are coming to terms with that is by speaking about they don't want those men anyway. I don't want him anyway. He's not attractive anyway. Yawn. It's losers. These are losers, right? And I know some men who are listening are thinking, no, these women they're educated and they're kick ass and they're doing well in school and they're doing well in their career and they're great daughters and they're great in the community. They're losers. Once again, it doesn't matter what you think. The only person opinion that matters are single men. Dear women, you could throw every single person at us. Other women, married men, your bosses, the technocrats. The only people whose opinion matters are single men. Single black men, single white men, single Latino men, single Asian men. It doesn't matter who you sent at us to try to regulate us. It doesn't matter the think pieces. It doesn't matter the exposés. It doesn't matter the editorials. It doesn't matter. The only person or group of people, better yet, who opinion matters about women are single men. Unless you want to be a side chick. Married men. The men. Huh? Yikes. All the sneak dissing, all the begging, white zaddy to come and regulate. And when I say white zaddy, I'm talking about elite white male technocrats, social designers, politicians, uber wealthy folks, men, white men. It don't matter if y'all keep on calling white zaddy to come and regulate us. We ain't going. Lose the weight, fix your attitude. Your career means nothing to us. Ooh, goddamn. Okay, all right, all right. If you're a professional, brother, okay, your career, it's not that it doesn't mean anything to us. It's that it means very little if you got a crap attitude. Dear women, you can't hide a crap attitude behind your career. Your snarky, sassy self, we might want to pipe because we feel like we're conquering. Goddamn, Z, stop giving away the secret, Z. Huh? And for all of you that just got in, we gonna play this one more again for y'all so y'all can see the sneak dissing. And we know why you sound the way you do, ma'am. Loser!
I feel like one of the nuances missing from the women aren't dating anymore, women aren't in their dating pool, they're leaving men, is that ain't no fine shit out here, okay? The men are ugly. They look tired, smelly, gross, okay? Nothing. When was the last time you saw a hot-ass man in person? Quick.
It's gotta stop, man. It has to stop. At some point. At some point, it has to come to an end. I think at one point in her video, she said that the men look tired. Yeah. Yeah. You gotta keep the change.
Imagine saying the men look tired, the men look ugly, the men look greasy, the men look smelly. All this, ma'am. Huh? And Mr. Z said it, right? This is how the women communicate. Men ain't ish. Oh, yeah, men ain't ish, men ain't ish, men ain't ish, men ain't ish. Men are trash, men are trash, men are trash, men are trash, men are trash. That's how they communicate with each other. And no one ever stops to tell them, no one, I mean no one, outside of like the black manosphere, no one stops to say, ma'am, you just sneak this in because you're overweight. You know, forget overweight, see, stop being nice. You're obese. And you ain't pulling what you like anyway. Can you pull a man? You can, look, men will pipe anything. Especially Negroes will pipe almost anything at least. Oh, you could get some peen. Relationship? Marriage? Huh? And will it be the man that you find attractive? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Huh? And these women stay sneak dissing. It's not even sneak dissing, Z. They stay insulting men because they can't pull or get and definitely can't keep what they find attractive. Ma'am, I'm not talking about who would pipe you. I'm talking about who you want to pipe. Oops. Huh? And so they took, oh, the men look ugly and they look tired, they look smelly, and they yawn. Loser. Huh? Why are we covering this, Z? Because there is a theme here. A bunch of loser-ass women speaking about how the men are losers when in actuality you just talking like that because you can't get what you want. You can't pull, especially that the middle-aged lady that's been circling, you know, the black manosphere, the black woman who was talking about the older brothers. You can't get what you want, and yawn. You gonna die alone too. Nobody cares about men dying alone, but everybody cares about women dying alone. And your loser ass old woman gonna die alone. Huh? Now go pay for peen and shut the hell up. And that's all it is, Dylan James. Projection. Loser ass women talking crap about the men that don't even. I promise you, the men that she find attractive don't even see her. She's invisible to them, and so she's sneak dissing. It's Ebony K. Williams all over again. I don't want those men over there. I don't want them. I want the men on the top. Yeah, they not checking for you. You aged out the game. For this woman, she she's too heavy for the game. For the men she want, you ain't getting nothing from them. On a super slow, super retardedly slow, dry ass night, maybe you get a 3 o'clock booty call. Maybe. And that's a hard ass maybe. I doubt it. Huh? You got lips, man. Maybe you could give some sloppy toppy. Ain't no look. Once again, could everybody stop lying to these women and or allowing them to lie to themselves? And that's all this is. And it don't even black men can lie to ourselves. Oh no Z, no, she ain't fat, she thick, look, you see how the hip city yawn. You can't even lie about this one. She's just overweight, she's just obese. There's no nuance, there's no kindness, no niceness, no hiding behind nuance. No, she's just uberly overweight. Huh? And making fun of the men because she can't pull or get what she wants. This is a theme. This is women right now. This is women in the 21st century. The type of men I find attractive. So these men are losers. No, y'all are the losers. And the technocrats and the loser, older white and black men, Latino men, ain't nobody trying to wife your 350-pound daughter. Get out of here. Huh? Imagine y'all raised 350-pound daughters with crap attitudes and we're supposed to marry them because they have a funky college degree? Huh? Wait a minute. She's overweight and she's not nice? She's overweight and she's not considerate? She's overweight and she's sassy? She's overweight and she won't shut the hell up? She overweight and she don't cook? How you overweight and you don't cook? Wait, what? She overweight and she don't give head? So let me get this right. Dear America, you're raising a bunch of overweight, we even gonna talk about the black women in specific. You're raising a bunch of overweight women with crap attitudes, and the men are supposed to do for them because why? Huh? And they're insulting your sons. Instead of admitting, look, what I find attractive, they don't find me attractive. I tried to flirt it, they're not looking at me. Instead of being honest, that who they want don't even notice them. Huh? Chisel Chin Tyrone and Chisel Chin Chad don't even notice them. They're asexual for all Chisel Chin Tyrone and Chad know, especially Chisel Chin Chad. Chisel Chin Chad don't even know she exists. They've been working at the same firm for 5 years. Chisel Chin Chad give a courtesy good morning, don't even know she exists. Don't know her name. Been working with her for 5 years, don't know her name. That's why she's sneak dissing. Huh? Chisel Chin Julio don't even know she exists. Huh? We ain't even gonna mention Chisel Chin Lead. Chisel Chin Lead. Hey Lee, I think she was trying to, put her bid in. Who? Huh? All this is loser women Whatever their hang up is, whether it's they're overweight or obese, whether their attitude sucks that much, whether they don't know how to shut the hell up, whether they wave their academic accomplishments around like it's a damn flag. The men, especially the men that these women are attracted to, are turned off by that. So the women start, well, dissing, of course. Huh? Of course. And what does it sound like at the end?
I feel like one of the nuances missing from the women aren't dating anymore, women aren't in the dating pool, they're leaving men, is that ain't no fine shit out here. Okay? The men are ugly. They look tired, smelly, gross. Okay? Nothing. When was the last time you saw a hot ass man in person? Quit.
It's gotta stop, man. It has to stop. At some point. At some point, it has to come to an end. I think at one point in her video, she said that the men look tired. Yeah. Yeah. You gotta keep the change.
I'm gonna play it again. Y'all pay attention to her arms when she's standing next to that Christmas tree, I think it was. Look at the lady. Not you, ma'am. Not you. And shame on whatever homegirls you have, whatever friends, sisters, girl cousins. Shame on them for not snatching you off the internet and telling you to shut the hell up. And to hell with your feelings about it. Whatever woman is close to your female coworkers, shame on you. Y'all let women like this talk while y'all snicker behind them. Y'all encourage them while y'all snicker. You know she ain't pulling nothing, especially not what she find attractive, and that's why she sneak dissing. And none of y'all tell her, hey, will you shut the hell up and get off the internet? You're embarrassing us. Huh? Rest in peace, Pimp C. You're embarrassing us. Continuing.
I feel like one of the nuances missing from the women aren't dating anymore, women aren't in the dating pool, they're leaving men, is that ain't no fine shit out here. Okay? The men are ugly. They look tired, smelly, gross. Okay? Nothing. When was the last time you saw a hot ass man in person? Quit.
So that says when you moved to Chicago in 8 months and you thought you was going to find your tribe and you found your tribe. To her tribe. To her tribe. Especially if y'all similar weight to her. To her tribe. This is not a good look. So this is what y'all do? Huh? Can't get the men you want. So y'all just push one of y'all out there to start sneak dissing? Huh? To her tribe. And God forbid y'all a bunch of fit women. Or at least way less than her. To her tribe. Shame on you. Shame on you. She is like morbidly obese. Shame on you. Shame on you for not saying anything. Shame on y'all for not pulling off the internet. Shame on you for not telling her to delete that video. Mama, whoever the hell, shame on you for not calling your daughter and be like, hey, what the hell is this? Huh? I get it. Some of the men in her circle, they afraid to say something. Somebody got to say something. Because not only is she morbidly obese, she talking crap. And ain't nobody gonna say anything. Y'all let these women talk on. No wonder they be so goddamn single, miserable, and horny as hell. Single, miserable, nuclear-powered rose toy. Huh? What was it called? The Dyson Sphere? Dyson Sphere-powered rose toy. stay dissing the men. Wow. Now I ain't even gonna read that one out loud, Saint Cyr. That Saint Cyr gave her a timeline. Wow. Oh, don't worry, y'all. We're going from the heavyweights, literal heavyweights, Hummer built. Anyway, goddamn, Hummer H1 built. Goddamn, see, stop. To the women that let you know overtly they all about their money. And I think somebody else played this on their channel. I want to say it was AB. I don't remember. But yeah. So we gonna play this. The women say, "Hey, y'all can't even talk to me if it ain't about the money." Right? Before we get to that, actually, let's read Vince super chat. So I can read that while we talking about this. And Vince says, "We are not carrying nobody's extra weight. Hashtag we require sweat equity." Look, sweat equity in that gym. I hear you. Huh? And thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Huh? That young, and you know, she's so big, she gonna have to get that skin nip tuck. I don't even know if they do that. Huh? Because if she lose weight, it's gonna be like the extra skin folds and all that other stuff. Because she's just it's bad. That's bad. That's really, really bad. Right? Growing up in South Florida, growing up in Haitian, we've been around very, very Mr. Z's been around overweight women my entire life. If you grew up black, you grew up around overweight women. But this overweight is ridiculous. And then she's talking crap. That's the thing. Huh? And thank you for the super chat, Vince. Thank you for the super chat. And Afro Merchant says, gamma radiation powered rose toy. Oh man, not fission powered rose toy. Not what's the other one I want to use? Oh man, what's it? Not solar powered. I wanted to use something way more elaborate than that. He said gamma radiation powered rose toy. You hear me? Because you have to appreciate, like, when you get to a certain, because you're eliminating your own options. Let's just call a thing a thing. You get to a certain weight, you have a certain attitude and demeanor, you eliminate all your options worth a damn. You have now relegated yourself to is the men without that many options. So you're gonna be in we'll say assaulting relationship with the non-black dude because he's mad he got to be with you to get his to release some stress, we'll say. Huh? Or the absolute loser of black men. Ma'am, you have now relegated yourself to the absolute worst of men. That's if you could even get one. You did that to yourself. Imagine being this overweight and then talking crap about men. Ma'am, you did that to yourself. Right? And Afro Merchant, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Huh? You did that to yourself. You're that overweight. And it's a wonder why you speak the way you do. Of course you do. You're sneak dissing. Of course you sneak dissing. Huh? Yikes. And better uses, and thank you for the super chat. She talking like that because she got the heavy duty bean basher 6900. The infrared beam seeker is guaranteed to get the job done for all the bigums. Look, I'm giggling. Y'all know Mr. Z is giggling and sniggling, but no, that's sad because it's not really about her. When I cover these people, can't cover her much, but when I cover these people, it's not really about them. I use them as an avatar to have a larger conversation. Oh, talk about larger. About women like this right? Other women like this. They're overweight and they speak like this, but you get it. You understand why. Of course you are speaking like this. Because you've relegated yourself to men more often than not with very few options. Once again, because you are this way. That's your fault. And of course you're going to make fun of the men. What are you going to do? Lose the weight? Uh-oh. Go to the gym? Yikes. Stop talking crap? Oh. Huh? No, you got to get off that anger, that frustration, that resentment. Huh? That you weigh more than a goddamn Escalade excursion, Hummer H1, goddamn. And the men you seek and the men you find attractive, you're invisible to them. So of course you got to take off that anger, that frustration at all men, right? Empty the clip at all men, no safety, no nothing. Huh? No 3-round bursts, fully auto to all men because you, ma'am, I usually say price your vagina out the game. No, ma'am, you ate your vagina out the game. No pun. There's a sexual pun in there. No, you ate yourself out of the game, ma'am. And that's your fault. Huh? So on that, we'll go to the next clip. And this one, it lets you know where a lot of women are because they broke. Continuing.
Damn! Hey, Shawty. Hey, Shawty, excuse me. Excuse me, Shawty. Can I get your number?
Hello. Insert cash to continue. Hey, how's it going?
But, Shawty, what's your name?
My name's Sade.
Shawty, I'm Dre. Look, boy, you fine as hell. Shawty. What the fuck?
Hello. Insert cash to continue.
My money diva.
What'd you say?
Like I said, you fine as hell. Look, I need your number. I ain't gonna
Yeah,
lie.
okay.
Where you from?
I'm from St. Louis.
Man, we were talking
Yeah.
about Houston.
Uh,
Shawty! Oh, she need more money.
thank you.
Look, put your number in there. You keep cutting off. I don't know what the fuck.
Oh, you're right. Hold on 1 second.
No. Hurry up before you cut off again.
All right. Make sure you call me
I'm gonna
now.
call you, girl.
If they could do it that overtly, they would do it that overtly. If your average woman could be that overt, especially the youngums, the youngins, the ones under the age of, let's say 50, if they could be that overt, they would. Huh? It's St. Cyr says that's really what it's like. Everything is transactional. Huh? And I actually want to review something off of Economic Circuit's channel where he speaks about the upcoming, and it ties into what me and Black Earl were speaking about a month and a half ago at this point, right? Maybe 2 months ago now. When I'm middle class, but hey, for all the women that said who want to be with average anyway, all right, y'all heard it here first. Okay, remember you said that. Huh? Remember you said that. Huh? For all the women who called into Kevin and said who wants to be with average anyway, why you always trying to tell black women to settle? Well, black women are always told, white women aren't told to settle. Black women always told to settle. All right, remember that. Y'all want to continue with this overtly transactional? What happens when the men don't got it and you don't got it even more? Oh, goddamn. You have even less than them. Huh? Oh, it's going to be a very interesting 21st century. At least the beginning of the 21st century. Yikes. You know? And this also speaks to what Z says when I say, look, we ain't trying to date or get to know or even for the most part have sex with Milton Friedman or Frederick Hyatt. Huh? Ayn Rand was not attractive. Margaret Sanger, no, not Margaret Sanger, sorry. Margaret Thatcher, both of them suck. Margaret Thatcher either. Huh? Nobody's trying to pipe Ronald Reagan. Yikes. That overtly transactional. I promise you, if more women could move and talk and act like that, they would. If it was socially acceptable, they would. They're damn there now. They're nearly there now. If she telling you, hey, if you want to link me, if you in her bio is if you want to link me, hit my Cash App, she is doing this. Huh? I'm glad we're here now. Because yes, the women are starving. They're struggling. I'm gonna play a clip after I play this that speaks to it. They are. They find little sleek ass ways, little slick ass ways to not say they broke. Let's be very clear. That's why Mr. Z speaks about the numbers all the time. Huh? Your average woman making, your average black woman at least, earning what, less than 40,000, or that's better yet, median. Median earning less than $40,000 a year. They're broke. Huh? So they dry begging. They're sassy begging. They're aggressive begging. Huh? Because of the power dynamic that would come about if they were to tell you straight up, look, I find you attractive, but I don't really got it like that. If you try to, if I like you, but I'm broke. The women can't tell you they're broke. Huh? So we're gonna play this. I'm gonna play a couple of videos after that in succession, and then the last one I play, we'll speak about that and we'll tie that to the first video. There we go.
Damn! Hey, Shawty. Hey, Shawty, excuse me. Excuse me, Shawty. Can I get your number?
Hello. Insert cash to continue. Hey, how's it going?
But, Shawty, what's your name?
My name's Sade.
Sade, I'm Dre. What the fuck? You fine as hell. Shawty. What the fuck?
Hello. Insert cash to continue.
My money diva.
What'd you say?
Like I said, you fine as hell. Look, I need your number. I ain't gonna
Yeah,
lie.
okay.
Where you from?
I'm from St. Louis.
Man, we was talking
Yeah.
about usually.
Uh,
Shawty. Oh, she need more money.
Thank you.
Look, put your number in there. You keep cutting off. I don't know what the fuck.
Oh, you're right. Hold on 1 second.
No. Hurry up before you cut off again.
All right. Make sure you call me
I'm gonna
now.
call you, girl.
Niggas be so quick to let me take you on a trip. Let me take you on a trip. Pay a fucking bill. Pay a bill. Pay a goddamn bill.
Always begging. Damn.
Can we get on the phone? No, get on the phone with billing. Don't talk to me. Talk to billing.
For your night. That's a very pro-woman, amazing, like strong, independent woman. But might I add another angle? I would feel like, why the hell ain't no one trying to scoop me up to save my life? Am I ugly? Are they better looking than me? Like, why are they getting saved and I'm over here working, taking on extra shifts now because she got Richard Gere that came and scooped her up and now she got an easy life and now I got extra corns on my toes and my back hurts because no one's saving me. So you have a very positive attitude. I would have been a little bitter like, why the fuck? Why not me? Why not? I don't want to be irresponsible. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of the goddamn cape. Somebody save me. I want to be Julia Roberts on Hollywood Boulevard in cheap shoes when some guy comes and saves me. I have worked hard since I was 14 and I had to pay. I'm sick of it, Erica.
I do understand.
It's a thankless
I understand
job
what you're
being
saying.
classy and independent. It's thankless. I've been dating since the 1900s and 80 something, and I'm still single. I'm tired, Erica. You found your man. Don't hate. Let me live it. Let me vent. You're off the strip. I am still on it. I'm in the trenches, and it sucks. I'm sick of being independent. I fucking hate paying for my fucking Range Rover, my other car, my mortgage insurance, my freaking cell phone, computer, Wi-Fi. I am sick of it. I need some guy with bad health to jump on in and interrupt and say, let me take you off your shift. You've been working hard enough. So that's cute what she's doing. I'm not doing that. We are different. I am tired. I've proven myself. And it only impresses other women. She's like, oh, that's amazing. My friend's independent. These men don't care. Come and save me. Some chic, minus the dookie. Just please come and save me. I'm tired. I'm tired, Erica. I don't want to do it no more. Where's my Melania? I want the Melania Trump plan. I'm sick. I've proven myself. Since 1988.
At 88.
I'm tired. I was 15 out of paper route.
Damn, that's a long time.
72 clients. 30-cent tip for some of you bastards in East Providence, Rhode Island on 2nd Street. I remember I gave you papers 7 days a week, and on Sunday you gave me a 30-cent tip. I'm tired. So I'm glad it worked out for you, but I'm not there.
Being a strong, independent woman since 1988 is a lot, Claudia.
Since Salt and Pepper came out.
That's a lot.
I'm tired.
Damn.
So, yes.
Damn.
Excuse me if I'm a little frustrated. So I envy the girls that got taken off the pole, so to say.
Nobody said nothing about no damn pole.
But metaphorically.
Yeah, nobody said what my point was, because here's the thing. The point was that this is a...
Take off the cape, Erica. We lost the election. We're not doing this anymore.
I'm not...
Soft life. Hookers are winning.
All about...
Hoes are winning. Hookers are in the White House again. First lady, if you will. I'm over it. No one cares. Nobody cares about independence anymore. But I respect it, but they don't.
I get it.
And I'm really starting to think that these women are unemployed or homeless, because every other video clip, podcast, it's like, oh, how much he got? My man got to make 6 figures. My man needs to drive this kind of car. He needs to pay for my bills. He needs to pay for this. How much money? Money. And it's like, well, what you got? Because it seems like you don't have any money of your own, which is why you going so hard for his money in his wallet that he worked hard for. That's always confusing to me. Like, what y'all got going on? I'm not saying you need to date a man that don't got any money at all, but it's also like, I love the fact that I have my own and I come to the table. I'm not begging. I'm not asking for my bills to be paid, rent to be paid. If you want to, and you got it like that, I'm not going to say no. But I'm not out here begging. Y'all be begging. It's starting to give that y'all don't have no job, no savings account, no home. Like, what's going on?
No, some of these women have jobs. Yes, some of them have jobs. They don't have no savings account. You damn right about that. Huh? They don't have no money. Oh, absolutely not. Huh? Yes, they're begging. Yes. Yes, it is begging. Huh? They're begging.
I'll do whatever you want. I'll cook for you, wait on you, make love to you. I can make you happy, Josh. I can make you so happy.
No.
Huh? They're aggressive begging. And the whole goal was to psych the men out into believing it was their job. And she wasn't going to give the vagina up to nobody until somebody paid. Now that men are comparing notes, men are saying, wait a minute. She giving you the vagina for free? Is she making him pay? Uh-oh. She giving you the vagina enthusiastically for free. And this dude didn't even get none yet, and he paying. He paying it forward. Oops. Huh? Oh, the internet. The internet will expose us all. The internet and social media are the new town square, and women are doing way too much talking. All y'all secrets coming out, huh? Including trying to psych the men out to pay for high mileage vagina out of some sense of obligation. Absolutely not. And even other women are checking y'all for that.
What top tier? Your dick is not equal to my fucking pussy. Point blank,
His
period.
dick ain't equal to your fucking bills neither.
God damn. Look, at the end of the day, I ain't
Them
fucking no
bills got
broke
your
ass
them
nigga.
bills got your name on it. They don't have his dick name on it.
At the end of the day, I ain't fucking no broke ass nigga. Do what you want with your pussy.
Yeah, you
but
don't
this
have to
pussy
fuck
got a
no
price
broke ass
tag on
nigga.
it. Straight
You
up.
look, no, You can fuck a nigga that ain't broke. That's not a problem. But just because he ain't paying your bills, don't mean he fucking broke. That mean it ain't his goddamn responsibility. Your bills got your name on it. It don't have his dick name on it.
Okay, you right. I land my plane.
You see how that mouth tighten up right there? That's when that.
Huh? And that's all it is. I'm here today to remind us that it's about to get real. It's about to be real, y'all. From what I've been watching, oh, it's about to be real. This is not about causing any one of us to panic or be scared or fearful. Huh? A bit of doomer stream. This is a bit of a doomer stream, but with some laughing and giggling injected into it. But we're not gonna be the ones that get sideswiped. Not for the most part. Huh? The ladies talking crap and talking crazy, sneak dissing, talking about what they're not gonna settle for, dry begging, aggressive begging, sassy begging. Those are the ones that's gonna get sideswiped. Huh? And we'll see if their golden girls ass friendships will be able to sustain them. No man and 3 and 4 women in one apartment, 2 bedroom apartment, 4 women in there, 3, 4 women. We'll see. Huh? We'll see if they're not thumping, if they're hugging it out. We'll see if there's not furniture moving in there. We'll see. Huh? Yikes. And as the young lady said, no, it's not just giving. No, they are begging. And the goal is to meet a naive, gullible young man or just man who think it's his job to fund her ungrateful ass. That's the goal. That's why it's all about these white dudes when you listen to some of these women. I'm going to play a clip about that in a minute. Because the goal is to meet a naive, well-resourced, gullible man who will fund her lifestyle and her crap attitude. It is begging. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Let's play this again.
And I'm really starting to think that these women like are unemployed or homeless because every other video clip, podcast, it's like, oh, how much he got? My man got to make 6 figures. My man needs to drive this kind of car. He needs to pay for my bills. He needs to pay for this. How much money? Money, 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 money. And it's like, well, what you got? Because it seems like you don't have any money of your own, which is why you going so hard for his money in his wallet that he worked hard for. That's always confusing to me. Like, what y'all got going on? I'm not saying you need to date a man that don't got any money at all, but it's all.
Let's pause it right there. We'll play it again. We'll play it again. I've said this before. The women don't want to put the work in. The women don't want to be in the blue collar fields. And let's be fair. I can appreciate that the way their femininity works, they don't want to be outside. right? I can appreciate that. Okay, cool. You don't want to be mixing concrete. Okay, cool. You don't want to be mowing. Okay, cool. You don't want to be painting the house outside. You don't want to be painting anything outside. Cool. Huh? You don't want to be driving the truck with the duster. All right, cool. With that, if we are transitioning into a world where those things that just a few years ago we were looking down on and we were snubbing our nose at these blue collar, right? This blue collar work. If we were looking down on that all of 2 and 5 and 7 and 10 years ago, yes, Mr. Z heard all the getting to coding, go into this, right? AI and tech. Well, some of that is starting to work on itself. They don't need those folks like that anymore. Already. Okay, cool. If the women say they don't think that's feminine, they're not going to do it. Okay, cool. And you're not going to have a man? Huh? And you're not going to have a man? Enjoy that rose toy. And it has to be a white collar brother, a white collar white dude, Latino, Asian guy who already has one chick and a side chick and another side chick. It's about to be ugly, y'all. It's about to get real ugly out here. The type of ugly that's gonna make some of y'all uncomfortable. I know some of y'all like, nah, Z, I'm gonna be good. You gonna be uncomfortable, Z. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna step over their bodies. All right, huh? If the Indigo made me laugh. If what we're witnessing is the end of that delusion, I want you to appreciate the women, especially for anyone over the age of like 20, especially over the age of 25. Those women are going to spin. I would argue most of them are going to spin, and the older they are, the worse. They are going to spend the rest of their life angry at the world. I want black men, dear black manosphere, be careful. Be careful who you having sex with. Be careful what time you go into her place. Be careful what time you leave in her place. Be careful. Huh? Be careful who you flirting with. Because they're going to try to get this money any and every way. It's about to get real. Huh? It's about to get real. And you have a bunch of women who've been listening to Chrissy and Shira 7. Huh? All this, what's her name? Manifestel and all these other weirdos. Huh? They've been listening to Deontay and they've been listening to FD Signifier, and they have the weirdest worldview ever. Huh? They're going to be single. They're going to be miserable. They're not going to, they already don't have any money. They're going to have less. They're going to have less. It won't seem like they're begging. It will be very overt that they're begging. It's going to be very overt that they're begging. And we're going to play this again. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat.
And I'm really starting to think that these women like are unemployed or homeless because every other video clip, podcast, it's like, oh, how much he got? My man got to make 6 figures. My man needs to drive this kind of car. He needs to pay for my bills. He needs to pay for this. How much money? Money, 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 money. And it's like, well, what you got? Because it seems like you don't have any money of your own, which is why you going so hard for his money in his wallet. that he worked hard for. That's always confusing to me. Like, what y'all got going on? I'm not saying you need to date a man that don't got any money at all, but it's also like I love the fact that I have my own and I come to the table. I'm not begging. I'm not asking for my bills to be paid, rent to be paid. If you want to and you got it like that, I'm not going to say no. But I'm not out here begging. Y'all be begging. It's starting to give that y'all don't have no job, no savings account, no home. Like, what's going on?
They're begging. They are begging. Right? And Mr. Shook to you says, I'm wearing some weatherproof, waterproof Pro Timberlands right now. Great for climbing over piles of mannequins and makes me 2 inches taller. Hysterical. Huh? Yikes. And Telescope says, a wealthy relative said her niece staged a trip and fall coming up their walkway and sued them. No lie. I would argue you're going to see this, and this won't just be exclusively women. Any and every way to get the money. Y'all see what happened with Shannon Sharp. Homegirl got her 20 mils, supposedly 20 million, right? Alleged 20 million, and she did the OnlyFans and everything she was going to do. What you're going to find is not just going to be rich men, right? Wealthy men. I'm using Shannon Sharp to have a larger conversation. That's what people are going to be engaging in, particularly the women. You got to be careful how you move. Yeah, they're going to be offering the vagina for crackhead prices. Goddamn. And with that is going to be setups. With that is going to be alleged assault, if you get what Z is saying, rape allegations, any and everything. They're not going to want to take it to criminal court. They're going to want to take it to civil court because they want the money. Huh? What it looks like is happening is that K-shaped recovery coming out of COVID, it's permanent. Oops. Huh? And Compassionate says, protect your seed, bro. Shout out to BGS. Definitely. Huh? The baby trap game, oh, they're going to be on that. Huh? And you better believe the government's going to turn a blind eye to the setup. Because, as Black Guru has said, somebody got to subsidize these hoes. Somebody got to pay for these hoes. Everyone's going to act like they don't know what's going on. Don't, I made mention of this before. We're not in court. We're not pleading our case. Huh? The elites are going to act like they don't know because they're okay. They're going to insulate themselves. That top 20, 25%, they're going to insulate themselves and their families. As much as there's certain things I disagree with Coach Greg Adams on, me and him are in agreement on that one. I've said it, he said it. Especially those white folks and the top 20, 25%, they're going to insulate themselves. Don't worry, Keisha ain't going to get nowhere near their son. I'm not trying to talk about elite black women. Maybe they'll let one or two of them sneak over there if she's thoroughly vetted. But your average Keisha, oh yeah, more and more, they're not even gonna let their son slum it with her. Nope. Huh? They are going to insulate themselves even more. And what you're gonna find is those Latinas, black women, urbanized Asian women, they're going to be trying to get it any way possible. Huh? Your hood ass white girls, they're going to be trying to get it any way they could get $1. And if that means sleeping with you enough times to get pregnant, and boom, she got you for at least the next 18, 20, 20, what is it? Graduating college on average 22 years. Yeah. Yeah. Huh? So as the lady said, it looks like y'all begging. No, they are begging. And they're gonna be scheming and they're gonna be trying to trap men. Entrapment, trap men, right? And Compassionate says they're not gonna let their sons go to any university with more than 6% black students. So if I'm not mistaken, I think at the Ivy Leagues, or was it all universities? I'm gonna say the stat and somebody correct me or like smooth out the edges. Something like the top 20% is like that's really who's going to school anyway, right? It's really the top 20% in the Ivy Leagues anyway, right? That doesn't mean obviously you don't have random black folks that worked really, really hard. Their children worked really, really hard. That's not in these schools. But like there's I can't remember what it was. I think it was like at the top schools, like 60 or 70% of them come from the top 20% of American households. And like the bottom, I think it was like the bottom 20% are only represented at like 5%. It was something like that. Something around those lines. So yeah, it's just gonna perpetuate on itself, right? And like when people think of affirmative action and DEI, they don't think of the white guy with Asperger's or whatever the hell that would keep him or yeah would bar him from university. People don't appreciate how many non-black people, including non-black women, were getting in to certain career fields or getting a second look, getting into certain schools or getting a second look because of DEI. Everybody just thinks DEI and affirmative action, and they just think of the hood black woman with the long ass claw nails. And yes, but no, she's the face, but she wasn't the person that was really benefiting from this. It was mainly white women and some white men. A large chunk of white men who would not have been considered, right? So that university thing, yeah, you're going to see that keep on perpetuating on itself. It's an adjustment. It's going to be a hard ass, difficult ass adjustment for a lot of people. I'll cover it. The economic circuit. I think I might have to do that Friday, because that's going to be a real stream. Huh? Telescope says, "Thank God for scholarship money. Broke ass Telescope ain't have to pay for ain't paying for NYU, right?" Shout out to Telescope, right? There we go. And Afro Merchant says, a significant majority, 67% of Harvard students come from the top 20% of families in the US, while only 4.5% come from the bottom 20%. There, boom. He did it. I thought it was a little off, but yeah, no. So in other words, more than 2/3 of Harvard. So more than 2/3 of Harvard comes from the top 20%, right? And only 4.5% of the bottom 20% are in Harvard. And I'm pretty sure if you check all the Ivy Leagues, it's similar-ish numbers. So going to what Compassionate said, all that means, and thank you so much for that, Afro Merchant, right? Let people know Z just don't be making this stuff up. Right? Because I remembered it, but I didn't remember it to the exact number and detail. So thank you very much for that, Afro Merchant. So going to what Compassionate says, they're not gonna let their sons go to any uni with more than 6% black students. I think they're just gonna tighten the grip and come up with whatever excuse. Look, you see, ever since we repealed, all this affirmative action and DEI. Look, there's less black people, there's less poor people. It's not our fault they don't have the mental acuity or the academic rigor and da 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 da. Right? And that's how they're going to vet people to be around their children. Let's be very clear. All the Asians that's around them are just props. Even some of the ADOS folks, definitely the Africans, are just props. I'm not speaking about these people in particular. I'm not saying that Asian, that black person, that Latino doesn't have a mind of their own, a life of their own, dreams and aspirations. No, that is not what Z is saying. What I'm saying is what you are to them is just a prop. You are just there in uni. You are just there at Harvard, at Yale, at Cornell, huh? To bring some spice and color to their environment and to get piped on and to be the experiment. Oops, I wasn't supposed to say that part out loud. Even Thaddeus Russell mentioned this. White dude used to be a professor, right? Yikes. So the vetting process is going to be that it's really going to be that college acceptance, that university acceptance. Huh? To those particular type of schools. What's going on, Nameless? Got Nameless in the house. Huh? So yeah, play this one more again for the dry begging, for the sassy begging. And look, it's another black woman that's noticing, and we watched clips from her before, who's noticing, wait a minute, it looked like, are y'all begging? Oh, y'all begging. First off, ma'am, it took you long enough, right? But yes, they're begging. The whole time, all the sass, all the what I'm not gonna settle for, they don't got it like that. Yes, they're begging. They were always begging. So we're gonna play this one more again. Here y'all go.
And I'm really starting to think that these women like are unemployed or homeless because every other video clip, podcast, it's like, oh, how much he got? My man got to make 6 figures. My man needs to drive this kind of car. He needs to pay for my bills. He needs to pay for this. How much money? Money, 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 money. And it's like, well, what you got? Because it seems like you don't have any money of your own, which is why you going so hard for his money in his wallet.
That's exactly what it is.
He worked hard for.
Exactly.
That's always confusing to me. Like, what y'all got going on? I'm not saying you need to date a man that don't got any money at all, but it's also like I love the fact that I have my own and I come to the table. I'm not begging. I'm not asking for my bills to be paid, rent to be paid. If you want to and you got it like that, I'm not going to say no, but I'm not out here begging. Y'all be begging. It's starting to give that y'all don't have no job, no savings account, no home. Like, what's going on?
Huh? Because they're broke. And they won't tell you that they're broke because of the power dynamic that instantly happens once she lets you know that you will be funding this relationship. That puts the power in your hands. That's where you have some of them that's a little bit more sly. They're still feminist like a mug, but they're a little bit more sly. They come up with all type of weirdo cockamamie ass reasons where it's your job to fund it so she can run it. Huh? That is the goal here. You fund it, she run it. Moving along. And because we haven't spoken about some swirler, divester stuff in a while, here's a young lady. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Here's a young lady speaking about what she's noticed with this pro-black to interracial relationship pipeline, she calls it. And here y'all go.
For years, my friends and I have been talking about what we call the social justice warrior to white partner pipeline. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's basically people who are often the boldest in talking about how evil white people are, how terrible they are, how we need to break the system down, often end up with the same people that they are actively calling evil. And the reason that this came up is because I went to college with people who would sit in meetings and say, I hate white people. White people are so evil. They do this to me. They ignore me on campus. They say wild stuff during class. And I go out Saturday night.
We're going to play the rest of that. I want to pause right there. They ignore me. Okay, let's call a thing a thing. Some of y'all caught it also. These folks claim they have an issue with white folks because they want to be accepted. They want to be validated. They want their humanity to be validated. They want their masculinity to be validated, or they want their femininity to be validated. And because for the most part, the vast majority of white folks are just not interested, they might check you off of a box that's both white women and white men, but outside of that, they're not interested. You have people of color, namely black people in this case, who start doing the, well, I ain't want them anyway. You can't fire me because I quit type talk. Yawn. Loser. She's going to go on and give some type of examples in a minute. But I wanted to pause so I could definitely mention that. These people don't mean it. They're living in a majority white country. They're probably more than likely attending PWIs. The majority of the white kids are not interested in being their friend, having sex with them, being in a relationship with them, intimate relationship with them. And so they go to start doing that. Well, I don't like white people anyway. Yawn. And the second they get a chance to bet a white person, they dare. Especially if it's a white person they find marginally attractive. Because they don't mean it. Huh? So we're going to play that. We're going to play the whole thing now. Continuing.
For years, my friends and I have been talking about what we call the social justice warrior to white partner pipeline. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's basically people who are often the boldest in talking about how evil white people are, how terrible they are, how we need to break the system down, often end up with the same people that they are actively calling evil. And the reason that this came up is because I went to college with people who would sit in meetings and say, I hate white people. White people are so evil. They do this to me. They ignore me on campus. They say wild stuff during class. And I go out Saturday night and I see you in a frat kissing a white man. I see you in a frat kissing a white girl. I thought they were evil. That's what you said. That's what you said. And me and my friends have been trying to understand the mental gymnastics that people have to go through to be calling white people evil during the day and yet lay down with them at night. And after many years of analysis, research, and thought, I really feel like I have cracked the code as to why this is. Now, before I can explain why this is, I think I need to explain that, in my opinion, there are two different archetypes of people who care about social justice, right? There are people like myself and my friends who care about social justice, but our focus is more on black people, right? We are focused on how can we help black people? How can black people empower themselves? Our focus is on black people and us as a community. Then you have the second group. They also care about social justice, but they are more focused on white people. How white people are evil, how white people are racist, how can we make white people do better? How can we make white people, tear down these systems? Their focus is on what white people's role is in white supremacy, opposed to focusing on people of color, marginalized people within these systems. Now, with that second group, that is who I'm really talking about with the social justice warrior to white partner pipeline. So I think that when you are constantly thinking about white people, what they can do better, how they are messing things up, I think that you subconsciously become obsessed with them. And I think that they become, the forefront of your mind. And when you meet a white person that maybe is not the things that you ascribe to all white people, you get hooked, you get transfixed. So that is why you can go in the daytime and talk about how evil white people are and how terrible they are, but then go home to one at night because in your mind, you found the one magical unicorn that is not that. It's like you're obsessed because in your mind you've been convinced that like every white person is that, and then you find the one that maybe isn't that, and you're like, I have to be with this person. And I think that even when you spend so much time thinking about them, even like your beauty standard changes to them. Now, these are just my thoughts. I think that somebody really needs to do a sociological experiment about this and look into this, because it really is fascinating. And I think that we really need to do more research and unpack how these things happen. But that is my theory. I think that caring about social justice just turns into obsession. What do y'all think?
Nope. Nope. There's a reason why we say decolonize your mind. There's a reason why we say decolonize your mind, because we assume, because we're right, that you've already been colonized. If you live in the West, if you live in America, if you live on planet Earth, the European beauty standard is the beauty standard. The white way of doing things is the right way of doing things. We say decolonize your mind because it doesn't take you getting into university and college and having a social justice warrior spirit, and then you marching and protesting, and then you get subsumed with the white beauty standard, and then all of a sudden, nope. Huh? You've been getting hit with that since you were in the womb. Huh? Definitely since you were born. The correct way to speak, the correct way to walk, right? To be unoffensive to them, right? The words to use, the way to emote, right? All of that. It doesn't take you being a young adult in university. And the folks that you're speaking about, that speak about white people being evil, and then they're kissing up on a white dude in a frat on Saturday night, that's because they didn't think they were going to be accepted. They're full of crap. Huh? This goes right back to the question we keep having to black people are the weirdest people when it comes to this thing. Can you be pro-black and not date black people? Can you be pro-black? This conversation is so old and tired. Huh? There we go, Black Rule, which is this is really the category. This is to Z, it's really the only category. And Black Rule says there is a third category. Those who have already been colonized and try to hide their internal colonization via fake wokeness. There you go. And really it's resentment that they're not accepted by the white folks that they want to be accepted by. Huh? That's what the whole entire dismantle the patriarchy, dismantle this hierarchy. I don't believe in systems of oppression and the hierarchy and the hierarchy. Yawn. All that is I'm not accepted in the top tier around the white folks, and they look at me weird. And as a matter of fact, they don't look at me at all because I'm not around them, and I'm not around them because they've already insulated themselves. And it's not fair talk. Huh? And the second there's a white dude that shows a modicum, a smidge of interest, she over there topping him off. Oh, goddamn. She don't mean it. Shout out to that young lady. The women you're speaking about don't mean it. That all that the white guys are evil, the white people are evil talk. It's because the Chris Hemsworth looking ass dude on your college campus ain't checking for her. That's why she said it. The Chris Evans looking ass dude on your college campus wasn't checking for her. That's why she said it. The Henry Cavill looking ass dude on your college campus didn't look at no black women at all. You never see. He don't even know y'all exist. Huh? Y'all have had the same class with this dude for the past 3 years, and he don't know none of your names. That's why she's saying white people are evil. Huh? Yikes. You want to know why she's saying white people are evil? Because the Chris Hemsworth looking ass dude piped once and act like he didn't even know her. He ran the other way. Damn, I don't got the clip to play for y'all right now. The clip of the sister crying over the frat dude. Huh? Yikes. That's all that is. And what makes it worse in particular for black women is black women think they're above it. No, black men are the ones with the inferiority complex. Black men are the ones who fall for the European beauty standard. Black men are the ones who look down on black women and their skin tone and their 4C hair and the African features, right? The Negroid features. Not black women. No, black women, we're open to everyone and we're just looking for someone to love us and to accept us and to, we believe in love and justice and, we fight for the oppressed and yawn. And you tell yourself that. In reality, you are the one who is the most susceptible to the European beauty standard. God forbid it's a white guy with a couple of dollars or that comes from a family worth a damn. Huh? So the black women you're speaking of course they're going to say white guys are evil because the majority of white guys ain't looking. You need to ask those women, well, maybe not, but it would be funny, it would be interesting, it would be illuminating, informative, find the word. If you would have asked those young women if they've ever had sex with a white man before, find out how many of them been smashed and dashed by the white dude who don't even acknowledge them on the school campus anymore. Oops. Where you think they just were kissing up on the frat dude? You don't think the frat dude smashed? Okay, yeah, that's it. Huh? Exactly, Tro. Love is love ass women. Huh? Super pro black, white people are evil. Love is love ass women. You can't help who you love. Huh? Yikes. So we're gonna play one more again, right? We're gonna play this one more again. And I definitely want to. There's a couple of clips I want to play after this that we played previously because Black Uru's in here, and I want to see what he says. We're gonna play this one more again. Here we go.
For years, my friends and I have been talking about what we call the social justice warrior to white partner pipeline. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's basically people who are often the boldest in talking about how evil white people are, how terrible they are, how we need to break the system down, often end up with the same people that they are actively calling evil. And the reason that this came up is because I went to college with people who would sit in meetings and say, I hate white people. White people are so evil. They do this to me. They ignore me on campus. They say wild stuff during class. And I go out Saturday night and I see you in a frat kissing a white man. I see you in a frat kissing a white girl. I thought they were evil. That's what you said. That's what you said. And me and my friends have been trying to understand the mental gymnastics that people have to go through to be calling white people evil during the day and yet lay down with them at night. And after many years of analysis, research, and thought, I really feel like I have cracked the code as to why this is. Now, before I can explain why this is, I think I need to explain that, in my opinion, there are two different archetypes of people who care about social justice, right? There are people like myself and my friends who care about social justice, but our focus is more on black people, right? We are focused on how can we help black people? How can black people empower themselves? Our focus is on black people and us as a community. Then you have the second group. They also care about social justice, but they are more focused on white people. How white people are evil, how white people are racist, how can we make white people do better? How can we make white people, tear down these systems? Their focus is on what white people's role is in white supremacy, opposed to focusing on people of color, marginalized people within these systems. Now, with that second group, that is who I'm really talking about with the social justice warrior to white partner pipeline. So I think that when you are constantly thinking about white people, what they can do better, how they are messing things up, I think that you like subconsciously become obsessed with them. And I think that they become, you know, the forefront of your mind. And when you meet a white person that maybe is not the things that you ascribe to all white people, you get hooked, you get transfixed. So that is why you can go in the daytime and talk about how evil white people are and how terrible they are, but then go home to one at night because in your mind, you found the one magical unicorn that is not that. It's like you're obsessed because in your mind, you've been convinced that like every white person is that. And then you find the one that maybe isn't that. And you're like, I have to be with this person. And I think that even when you spend so much time thinking about them, even like your beauty standard changes to them. Now, these are just my thoughts. I think that somebody really needs to do a sociological experiment about this and look into this because it really is fascinating. And I think that we really need to do more research and unpack how these things happen. But that is my theory. I think that caring about social justice just turns into obsession. What do y'all think?
Mr. Z thinks that these people think that they got the golden ticket. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory golden ticket. Huh? It's not that difficult. You could talk all that. If you don't have a decolonized mind, white folks are still at the forefront of your mind, and they are the standard. And if one shows just the smallest amount of interest, you go in. And they could do what they want to do with you, and you'll find a way to justify it to yourself. Huh? You'll be okay with being their sexual plaything. You'll put all your guards down for them. Huh? All the quote-unquote standards you have, which you're quote-unquote not going to settle for, all that's out the window for the white dude. Huh? And that's all there is. It's not that complicated. The problem is y'all have convinced yourself that you're morally superior to black men. You're on the right side of history, right? You don't care for white male validation. Huh? Now the white dude's wiping up in your restroom. Ooh, goddamn. Z, you talking about white men. You're right. He just put his pants on and he leaves. Okay, yeah, that's better. That's better. That's more accurate. Huh? Now he ignoring you on college campus. Yikes. Huh? And for those of you that's just coming in, we're gonna play these back to back. These are what Mr. Z covered before y'all got in. So we're gonna play this, and then we're gonna play well, it's actually what, three, and then we'll play the last video. Okay, here we go.
I feel like one of the nuances missing from the women aren't dating anymore, women aren't in the dating pool, they're leaving men, is that ain't no fine shit out here, okay? The men are ugly. They look tired, smelly, gross, okay?
Wait for it. Wait
when was
for
the last
it.
time you saw a hot-ass man in person? Quick.
It's gotta stop, man. It has to stop. At some point. At some point, it has to come to an end. I think at one point in her video, she said that the men look tired. Yeah. Yeah. You gotta keep the change.
Huh? You know what's unlike Z, this brother didn't really say anything. He just said it has to stop, right? But he knew he didn't have to say anything. Just show the pictures and let the pictures, when they say the picture's worth 1,000 words, no, this is 1,000,000 words. Huh? He didn't have to say anything. She talked her foolishness He showed 2 pictures of her, and that's all he had to do. And let the pictures do the talking. Mr. Z will articulate what that brother's saying by not saying anything. You're full of crap, ma'am. You're overweight. You're morbidly obese, and you sound the way you do because you're a hating ass loser chick who's trying to do the "you can't fire me, I quit." Ma'am, you're not pulling nothing you find attractive. You ain't pulling much of anything, to be honest. But definitely not what you find attractive. Huh? Find me the man who doesn't have a kink. Find me the man who's paying you, ma'am, to pipe. Huh? Better yet, find me the man who's going to be in a relationship with you and pay perpetually. Huh? All that talk. The men are ugly. The men look smelly. The men look tired. Ma'am, do you don't have a mirror in your house? Do you not own a mirror? Huh? Mr. Z chose to play that to say the women stay doing that. They don't qualify, then they start talking crap. Like they're the ones missing out. Like the men are not on their level. No, ma'am, you don't qualify. You talking the way you do because you don't qualify. You're a loser. You're sneak dissing the men because you don't qualify for the men you want. Huh? So that was the first clip. Second, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat.
Damn! Hey, Shawty. Hey, Shawty, excuse me. Excuse me, Shawty. Can I get your number?
Hello. Insert cash to continue. Hey, how's it going?
What up, Shawty? What's your name?
I'm Sade.
Sade, Andre. What the fuck? You fine as hell. Shawty. Shawty. What the fuck?
Hello. Insert cash to continue.
My money, nigga.
What'd you say?
Like I said, you fine as hell. I need your number. I ain't gonna
Yeah,
lie.
okay.
Where you from?
I'm from St. Louis.
St. Louis? How
Yeah.
about you in Houston?
Uh,
Shawty. Oh, she need more money.
Thank you.
Look, put your number in there. You keep cutting off. I don't know what the fuck.
Oh, you're right. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
No. Hurry up before you cut off again.
All right. Make sure you call me
I'm
now.
gonna call you, girl.
That ass not even that fat. It's really the arch in the back. I see how he know. Anyway, moving along. So that is hysterical. Telescope, and if you know, you know what a buffer is. Telescope. That's funny. That's hysterical. Now, why Mr. Z played that is because I was reminded when I first saw this video. Somebody sent to me, "Shout yourself out" in the comments or in the live comments right now. I thought of a lot of the young brothers and y'all saying, now these women are saying, if you want to link me, hit me in my Cash App. And they wanted you to Cash App them money before even the first date. And all this spoke to was that. Huh? What I would argue is if more women had the courage, they would be moving and talking like this. They're already kind of moving and talking like this. Huh? They're already kind of moving and talking like this. This very overtly transactional situationship, relationship, whatever the hell ship. I think before the women get their mind right, we're really talking about under the age of 30, but really under the age of 40, 50. They're going to engage in this. As the economic times get tougher, as all of their hyper consumerist, materialistic dreams get dashed, their last Hail Mary is this: overtly in your face transactional relationships. Notice they weren't on a date. Huh? They weren't at the mall. Huh? He was just trying to get to know her. Not even. He was just trying to get her number. He was just trying to get her number. And it was money off top. If more women had the courage, they would be speaking exactly like this. They're kind of here already. But if they had the courage, this is exactly what they would be saying. Because they kind of are already. Huh? And Black Uru says, their so-called independence in this fake fiat capitalistic society is slow walking all of them into being hoes. I agree. Right? Ah. Huh? And that ties into this.
And I'm really starting to think that these women like are unemployed or homeless because every other video clip, podcast, it's like, oh, how much he got? My man got to make 6 figures. My man needs to drive this kind of car. He needs to pay for my bills. He needs to pay for this. How much money? Money, 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 money. And it's like, well, what you got? Because it seems like you don't have any money of your own, which is why you going so hard for his money in his wallet that he worked hard for. That's always confusing to me. Like, what y'all got going on? I'm not saying you need to date a man that don't got any money at all, but it's also like I love the fact that I have my own and I come to the table. I'm not begging. I'm not asking for my bills to be paid, rent to be paid. If you want to and you got it like that, I'm not going to say no. But I'm not out here begging. Y'all be begging. It's starting to give that y'all don't have no job, no savings account, no home. Like, what's going on?
I agree with her that it's begging. What I will say is their framing is to protect their ego. So they move about, well, like this.
Damn! Hey, Shawty. Hey, Shawty, excuse me. Excuse me, Shawty. Can I get your number?
Hello. Insert cash to continue.
Huh? They are begging. That's why Mr. Z says sassy begging, aggressive begging. Huh? Because they are begging. They're framing it like this is your job, this is a responsibility, this is what a man's supposed to be, this is what a man's supposed to do. All to protect their little fragile ego. Because they're begging. If you first meet her, she talking about money. If on that first date she already talking about money, begging. And the beauty of the internet will expose us all, is we know y'all begging because we know how much y'all make on average. Oops. Huh? We know y'all begging. Right? And Black Uru says, gave all of them jobs that weren't really worth a damn and are now taking all those useless jobs away. Let the vagina games begin. Look, Black Uru, I gotta cover this this little think piece from a dude, I forgot his name, but his channel name is Economic Circuit. I've actually added a bunch of his videos on my community post over the past month and a half, maybe a month. And he did one about, I want to say, was it automation? Y'all give me a second. I'm going to tell y'all the name exactly right now. Wait a minute. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put the link in a minute. Give me a second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Okay, hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me get a one in the chat if you guys can hear me. So I want to kind of just put the link in the chat. I'm gonna cover that hopefully Friday. That's the goal. Speaking to what Black Uru just said, gave all of them jobs that weren't really worth a damn and are now taking all those useless jobs away. Let the vagina games begin. Right. So this is not only going to affect the women. Clearly, it's going to affect the men seriously also. But as KMS has said, as many of us have said, at worst case scenario, we can always go get a manual labor job and have some type of real money coming in. Right. That's number one. Number two, the economy, and it's crazy because so I've said it, Black Uruv said it, BGS has said it, and then you have this white guy here, economist, who has said it also. Right. That the economy is going to radically reorient itself. There we go. Now, who is it going to hurt and harm the most? Ouch. Huh? And that goes exactly to what Black Uru was just speaking of. So I'll put the link in. I'll put the link in the description box for the replay gang. Shout out to the replay gang, so you guys can read that. I mean, well, watch that. And let me read this from Joe's, and let me read also Southern Purchase. I didn't forget about you, Southern Purchase. Let me read this from Joe's first. And Joe says, "Women going to be out here like the Hunger Games, not Katniss." Oh man, not them shooting arrows at squirrels and whatnot. I hope not, for men's sake, for black men's sake, because that would hurt us too. Not nearly as much as the women, not nearly as much as black women. But it is going to be, you're going to have your desires and your dreams readjusted, right? For those of us who are already kind of on the humble anyway, for those of us, Mr. Z told you I went through a time when I was a dandy, Mr. Z. Still like nice things. I'm not too uber glamorous. I still buy nice things here and there. Buy nice things for Ms. Z, right? But it's not the end of the world if we can't have those things, right? I don't see it as a personal failing necessarily. But for those, particularly the women who judge themselves on the expensive thing a man is buying them, or the expensive thing maybe that they can buy for themselves, this adjustment, especially if you are in a career field that can be automated or that software learning, machine learning can take over, it will take it over. And so what Joe says, it will be some version of Hunger Games. And that's why I'm saying to all brothers, particularly the younger brothers, who's going to come into their own and who's going to be making good money, or at least be stable. You got to be careful. The women are going to be throwing the vagina at you. You got to be careful. And to hell with your ego. Sometimes you're going to have to admit to yourself, she don't really like you. You are just a safety net. Huh? And if you're okay with that and y'all come up with some type of compromise, I still wouldn't do it, but okay. Huh? You got to be careful how you move, especially when they starving. Huh? So, Joes, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. And Southern Purchase says, welcome to South Florida. And Southern Purchase says, what's up, Z? You Miami folks have to do something about the traffic. I took 50 minutes to get from downtown to Coral Gables over the weekend. I was pissed. Look, you are leaving. Look, Saturday and Sunday. If you're leaving downtown Miami, that means, remember everything that's around downtown Miami. Brickell is right there. Wynwood is right there. Depending on where you're coming from the beach, South Beach is right there. Right? Bayside is right there. If they had an event at Bayside, that's your ass. Huh? Everything is right there. right? So everything is right around there. The airport is down the street, huh? Everything is right there. So like, if you're taking, let's say, 95 up or anything like that, if you any type of expressway you're taking around there, you got to remember everything around downtown Miami, right? Obviously, there's downtown Miami itself, Brickell's right there, Bayside's right there, Wynwood's right there, South Beach is around the corner, right? For all of you that saw Bad Boys 2, the mansion that the Russian dude had, Vizcaya, right? That's an old museum piece now. That's down the street, not too far from downtown Miami. All of that's like around the corner, right? The hospitals are down the street, right? Jackson Memorial and all that stuff, that's down the street. All that's right there. Huh? So yeah, look, and you're there on the weekend. Look, man, Mrs. Z, no, Mrs. Z haven't been down that way in a long time. It's been a while. Me and my lady were just talking about that too. I haven't been down that way in a long time, right? On a weekend, oh yeah, right. Honestly, low key, I want to tell you, you're lucky it only took you that long. Huh? So let's continue, and we're gonna play this last clip. Where's the last clip? Was that the last clip? No, this is here we go. Here we go. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat.
I just saw a video of a woman who was running in a marathon, and when she looks over, she notices a friend of hers flew in from London to watch her finish. The friend flew in for like 24 hours, and she sees the friend and she immediately starts bawling. She's like crying and running, and you can tell she's like overjoyed that her friend would do such a thing. I think sometimes when men are questioning why women are choosing to be single.
Hey, stop there. Stop there. What did men do again? How are we involved in people running and a friend going to support a friend? What did men do again? How did we get into this conversation of a friend from London to go and support the other one that is running like us? What did men do again? How did we get into this equation? How did we get into this? How? What did we do? Is this obsession or you had a bad father in your life? Because I don't understand. Your bad choices. Some of you women go and choose bad men. Some of you are being raised by bad fathers and you think every man is like that. Some of you choose very stupid men and you... How did we get involved in people running? And now...
Why did Mr. Z pick this? Exactly. What the African brother said. Exactly. Huh? Exactly. It's so bad that even other women were in the comments like, I'm trying to figure out how to. And y'all seen the young lady before with the faux locks. I don't know if those were really dreads or if that's her real hair. I guess she's on TikTok. She makes these type of videos. Once again, it's always men's fault. It's always men are the issue. That this weirdo kind of social media feminist crap. Yawn. Yeah. See, this is what we're talking about when we say that men don't support. Nobody care what you. Z, relax. Okay, listen here. Which face? Okay, all right. Z, all right. Ma'am, nobody cares what you're talking about. You're just one of these annoying ass content creators online, just yapping, giving the women good ass cope for their broke ass lives. We know y'all broke. We know y'all broke. We know y'all are lonely. I didn't say single. I said lonely. We know y'all are broke. We know y'all are lonely. We know y'all are horny. We know y'all are angry. We know. And all people like you do, all women like you do, is give women good ass cope, and that's coming to an end. I'ma love to see how they talk to you when they can't afford to eat, and you still talking like this, huh? Yikes! If y'all care about each other so much, and y'all support each other in the sisterhood so much, they're gonna munch on each other then, huh? If y'all care about each other so much, y'all go ahead and do y'all Golden Girls thing, and y'all support each other then. In that way. Now Mr. Z gets just going, just like how they used to hit the brothers upside the head in the 90s and the early aughts. The second a woman start talking like this, I'm like, are you in a same-sex loving relationship? You should be. Oh, it's annoying. You see how we support each other? And this is what we're saying, yawn. Just one of these loser-ass social media feminists. Pathetic. It's just like the brother said. How in the hell did black men, or men, better yet, black men, let's be honest, men get included in this? Because they gotta time, they have to sneak this. They gotta, you see, this is what support look like. Would you fly out for da? Huh? Yawn.
I just saw a video of a woman who was running in a marathon, and when she looks over, she notices a friend of hers flew in from London to watch her finish. The friend flew in for like 24 hours, and she's like, she sees the friend and she immediately starts bawling. She's like crying and running, and you could tell she's like overjoyed that her friend would do such a thing. I think sometimes when men are questioning why women are choosing to be single,
Hey, stop there. Stop there.
Exactly. Huh? And Ross says, since she can't get a livable wage as a PhD. Are you talking about that same dark-skinned sister with the dreads? Don't tell me that. You just gave me ammo. Don't tell me that, Ross. Don't tell me you talking about the same lady right here. I would love to know what her PhD is in. Gender studies? Don't tell me you're talking about the same lady. Please don't tell me you're talking about the same lady. Huh? Oh, not her. Okay. All right. I'm about to say. Grab Second Gear says she's the worst. Yeah, every time I see clips of her, she's always doing this. And like, I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. Who the hell are y'all talking for? When I found this video on IG, all the women that were in the comments, black and white women, were like, yeah, I want to know how did men get included in this too? Right? It's like, this is all they got. This is it. This is it. Is this what y'all went to school for? This is all they have. Shout out to whatever man is piping her down. Hopefully it's not a black man. Dear white men, you can come get her. Huh? Dear white men, you can come get her.
Mario, Jorge, Cartwright, Shane Sung, we got a thrift store of leftover bitches. They're leftover because apparently it ain't enough niggas is worth a damn. Whatever. Point is they left over. We need you to come pick them up. No instruction manual. Figure it out. Sprinkle some white ice on it. Maybe, I've heard the white ice is colder. Sprinkle some white ice on it. It goes with everything. If you come within the next 24 hours, we'll give you a complimentary book on how to date black women for white men. That's a $4 value.
One of you white guys, one of you Latinos, although Mr. Z thinks that she's probably one of that go to white dude, one of y'all come pick her up, please, for the love of God. Get her the hell out of here. Trust me, we won't care. No backseas, no returns, no returns. We don't care. Hey, torch that receipt when we give it to you, because we don't care. We ain't taking her back. Exactly, line. Everything must go. You could take. Look, we'll throw in 2 other women just like her. You could have a whole polycule going on over there. We don't care. Huh? Yikes. Imagine a woman is doing one of these cross country things, one of these marathons, better yet. Marathon, she running, she see her homegirl. Oh, oh, you came out to see me, yay. And then you decide, you know what? I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tie that into why men are horrible, quote unquote, partners. I'm gonna use that to bash men even more than I do already. Yikes. Loser talk. I want y'all to appreciate, if and when this economy moves the way Z think it's gonna move, I'm gonna cover this on Friday. We're gonna cover some things on Friday. All of this is, it's a wrap. And it's not because women like this and women like Kim Foster are not gonna want to keep on talking that. It's going to be too evident that they are black women's class enemy. Mr. Z has been saying this for years. And other women live vicariously through these women. That's going to come to an end. And then Mr. Z suspects there will be threats, and this might get violent. Oh, Z, you going there with it? Yes. When you starving and you need a man, and you get on his program, and no, it's not a regular stream. So don't lose your train of thought, Z. Yeah, I suspect it's there's gonna be some threats levied. There's gonna be some threats levied. A lot of things people took for granted, a lot of things people threw to the wayside, a lot of things people turned into luxury items. We're gonna see if you can keep on doing it that way. Y'all heard what Mr. Z said? I meant it when I said it. Not for men in particular. To a certain extent, yes, but not really. For women, being single will be a luxury. And we're going to see how many of them can really afford that single life. We're going to see how many of them can afford to be antagonistic and mean and rude to your average man. We'll see. Huh? We will see. And we'll see how many of them continue to watch this type of content. This type of antagonizing, mean content. Let me find another way to say these men ain't ish. Let's see. Huh? Oh, that sound nice. Calvin Rogers says, I hate you, Negro. Come get me. Yeah. That's done. That's done. I suspect those days are coming to an end, and there's gonna be a whole lot of women trying to rewrite that contract That contract that they took, put it in the shredder, and then torched it. The contract that some of our mothers, grandmothers, our aunts, our own sisters took, put it in the shredder, and then took the pieces and torched it. They're gonna be looking for they're gonna be looking for the ashes, or they're just gonna try to rewrite another contract. Huh? They're the ones who pushed the Jenga blocks down. The ladies did that. The women did that. Huh? But it's a new day. And I suspect the women gonna be getting some real humble pie in a minute.
I'll do whatever you want. I'll cook for you, wait on you, make love to you. I can make you happy, Josh. I can make you so happy.
No.
It's about to be some humble pie in a minute. Huh? Say that. And Compassionate says, tell him you want that paycheck, black man. Huh? That man keeping thing, we're gonna cover that this week. Huh? These people sound weird, and even other women are getting tired of them. I see it. It's mainly white women, although we have some black women talking. I'll give them that. It's a handful of black women. But I'm seeing, hey, those around the way white women, huh? Was it indescript, undescript white women, the everyday middle America mom ass white women? They getting tired of the foolishness. Y'all talking too much. Y'all messing up their money. You got their husbands looking at them sideways, suspiciously. Huh? Nondescript is the word Mr. Z was looking for. Goddamn, I said everything but the word. All those nondescript white women, everyday, regular American moms. Huh? Every other month, not even every other month, every month is some new trend, some new women talking crap about men trend, some new sneak dissing trend. Because loser ass women, especially some of these professional ass women, I don't understand how you're a professional ass white woman in LA or New York and you don't got a man. Yet you got to be the most insufferable person on the planet, or you're ugly. Oops. God forbid you're both. You see, you can't be doing that. I did it. Huh? All these columnists, there you go, Z. With their gender war crap. Sneak dissing men, talking crap about the men, the everyday man, because the chisel chin chads that are around you are not interested. So you go sneak dissing everyday men. Y'all are weird. Y'all are socially awkward. You're ugly. And you got a crap attitude. And you're a white woman in America and you don't got no man? I just told you why. Huh? Let's be honest, you're not attractive enough for the men around you. Them Wall Street dudes, they not checking. Huh? The Wall Street guys are not checking for you. The guys behind the scenes in Hollywood are not checking for you. Huh? And that's the problem. And so you go to sneak dissing all men. No, man, be honest. You got a crap attitude, and the men you wish were looking at you are not. And so you do this sisterhood thing with average women. All the men that they just want to practice patriarchy. It's patriarchy if I'm paying. Oops. Huh? Z, you about to say it? It's patriarchy if I'm not paying. Ooh, goddamn. Oh, don't do that to him, Z. Don't say that part. Now that one, they definitely can't accept that. Huh? Then go huddle up on the men that are okay with this. When he funded, you run it. Find the men that's okay with he funded, you run it. Find me the guys. White, black, Latino, Asian, or otherwise. Find me the guys. Huh? Yikes. Let me see if I can bring this up while I'm talking to y'all. Actually, that's not the one. That's the one. Okay. Because eight at the table posted something on their IG page and I didn't even crop it the way I needed to, but I will post it anyway. Um, eight at the table post the average man spends 5,000 to 12,000 more per year when in relationship, and they got the links and all that other stuff. I'll figure it out. I'll fix it that we could use it next time. But yeah, so that people, I think it was from Lending Tree. There we go. The link was from Lending Tree. There you go. Right. I'll crop it out and I'll fix it so that it's gonna be practically a permanent. So this is just gonna have permanent, right, backgrounds for when we talking about these things. Huh? What did Mr. Z say again? Oh yeah, get on a man's program. Oh yeah, we're subsidizing you. Post it again, Z. The average man spends 5 to 12,000 per year when in relationship. Huh. Black and Latina women who never marry are the least wealthy in the US. Huh. I wonder if those two things have anything to do with each other. Huh? While Kim Foster's talking crap. While Real Talk with Yanni is talking crap. Huh? While Chrissy is telling you if you can't date up, it's better to be alone.
This is what I tell average looking and below average looking women. If you can't date up, be alone. Life is easier that way. And I know that's controversial. I don't care. I don't care.
Huh? Yikes. $5,000 to $12,000 a year. 5,000 a year. That's give or take what? $700-ish a month? Huh? No. That's 5,000. No, I'm way off. What's that, like 400 or something dollars? Yeah, because 12 months would be 4,800. Yeah, something like that, right? So $400 a month, give or take a dollar or two. $400 a month. So that's a bill, right? And then 12,000. That's $1,000 a month being subsidized. Huh? While y'all talking crap, why y'all not telling Kim Foster to shut the hell up? Huh? Why y'all not telling Chrissy to shut the hell up? Divested zealot, divested witch, name them. Shira 7. Y'all listen to these women. Y'all talk all type of crazy in the comments. Meanwhile, y'all being subsidized. And when you're not subsidized, you're broke. Exactly, Mr. Donnie Mac. About $100 a week. Huh? And Saint Cyr says, that's funny. That's a funny stat, Z. Considering I save anywhere from 500 to 620 a month, that comes out to about 5 to 7K a year. You see? The women are financial burdens. And it was a burden that men used to take on when women were on men's program. Have fun trying to get these young men to sign up for taking on your asshole daughters that are already coming in the door saying she's not going to be on his program and he's supposed to subsidize her to the tune of, and it's his relationship. It didn't even say marriage. Y'all notice that, right? I'll put money, it's even more in marriage. As a matter of fact, there's no doubt it's more money in marriage. So we're supposed to be in a relationship with your daughters, subsidizing her at the tune of $5,000 to $12,000 a year. God forbid we're talking about the actual marriage, and she's not going to be on a program, on his program. Yeah, nope. Y'all can keep them. That's why Mr. Z said leave them on the lot. Shout out to BGS. Send them back to the manufacturer. That's why I did that stream. I'll link it in the description box after the stream. Shout out to the replay gang. Huh? And share the light says no men don't want to take care of them anymore. Shout out to all the women. What did Tesla say? We the ones who taking care of y'all, and we the ones and yawn. It's not true. First off, she wasn't talking about white men. But Tesla, here's where you're wrong. You're even wrong about black men. Oops. Huh? Tesla, we know you weren't talking about white men. But here's the kicker. You're wrong about black men too. Black men are subsidizing these ungrateful asshole black women also. Which your mom... Teslin speaks as if she's Mama Bear. Huh? She speaks like a true ass gynocrat. And I would love to know where's her husband. Oops. Huh? Yikes. Leon says, bruh, I don't go grocery shopping with my wife in the last 7 years. We subsidize them, bro. Dylan James says, we're not clearing their debt. Huh? Ross says, what's killing me is they will never acknowledge that they were the ones in Cynthia G's comments. Say that. They were the ones in Cynthia G's comments. Meanwhile, the average man spends 5,000 to 12,000 more a year or per year when in relationship. Huh? And when you tie that to this, Black and Latina women who never marry are the least wealthy in the U.S. Mr. Z said the internet will expose us all. The reason why I said that is for this: easily accessible information. Women showing their ass on the internet in a way they couldn't on television because clearly they have their own cameras on their phones and they go to recording themselves talking crazy. And not to mention all the cameras on street corners and in front of stores, and you see all different type of chaos, right? In the store, out the store, in the parking lot, street cameras, right? People with camera phones, and you catch women behaving in ways that your technocrats and your white elites used to minimize. You catch white women, black women, Latina women, Asian women behaving in ways we were told only men behave that way. Behaving negatively and badly in ways that we thought were reserved for only men. That's number one. Number two, as I said before, easily accessible information. Better yet, easily acceptable truth. Not just information, facts, history, accurate stats. Huh? And here we are. And so, as Ross said, they're not going to admit that they were in Cynthia G's comments. Oh, let me call this now. Let's call it now. I know there might be a couple of people that called it also. Oh, yeah, there's going to be a lot of women moonwalking. Not all of them. Let's be very clear. I already told y'all there's a few of them that's going to go down with the ship. They're going to be so stubborn. They're going to go down with the ship. They're going to go down. They would rather be under a bridge. That is true. There are some that would rather be under the bridge. They would rather be in an apartment with their homegirls while they fighting over the cereal. That is true. But a lot of women in real life and online are going to be moonwalking. When they realize that the shaming tactics and what a man is supposed to do ass stuff don't work on you, they're going to start moonwalking. All of a sudden, they're not going to know who Cynthia G is. They're not going to know who Chrissy is. They don't know who Crystalline Karazin is. They don't know who Kim Foster is. Huh? Real Talk with Yanny, they never watched Mahogany Pink's video. There's no like on Mahogany Pink's video. Huh? All of the sexist, misandrist TikTok women, they're not gonna know who those women are. These women are gonna start moonwalking like a mug. Huh? Michael gonna be looking at them like, goddamn. Chris Brown gonna be looking at them like, well, damn, I can't even moonwalk that well. Huh? They're gonna be moonwalking. Rightfully so. I said subsidize. I meant it. The men are subsidizing. We already know and we already appreciate that the majority of men can afford to pay for everything. He can afford to pay for everything in his life, but he can't afford to pay for everything for him, his lady, and maybe if they have kids. We know this. But he is subsidizing her when they have no children. And he is paying the majority of the bills when they do have children. And the women, including black women, kept on denying it, particularly black women. And more data is coming out that's saying, yeah, actually, when Mr. Z says subsidized, Mr. Z is 100% accurate. Y'all getting subsidized at the tune of $400 and some odd to $1,000 a month. Huh? That's why when y'all break up with y'all man, y'all refuse to move out that apartment because you don't got nowhere else to go. That's why when y'all break up with y'all man, that's why y'all are hurting. Who's gonna pay that car note now? Huh? Yikes. There was a whole lot of women talking a lot of crap. And now we have social media and the internet. And the men aren't just using social media and the internet to talk crap about the women. That's what y'all do. We don't just use social media and the internet to review stupid ass reality TV shows, Love Island and all that other crap. No, I'm just looking for the anthropological relationship between the sociological relationship between. I use it to study the behavior of other people. Whatever y'all gotta say to intellectualize mass media entertainment crap. Yawn. Huh? The men aren't using social media just for that stuff. I reminded y'all before when the recent reparations conversation started heating up, when Armio Frimpong was still on Yvette Carnell's channel, they spoke of the fact that it was like 70-30 or 2/3 of men that was subscribed to Yvette. Yeah, because the women don't want to talk about nothing serious, nothing political, nothing that oh my God might center black men. Absolutely not. Nothing that's not involved in the gender war. Nothing that brings them back to reality that says, yeah, you're probably not gonna live that luxury life, and even you aspiring for it is delusional, and it's gonna actually make your life miserable. You need to check your desires, huh? Of course, they weren't gonna listen to Yvette. They don't listen to Yvette. They don't listen to Tone. They don't listen to Armio Safer and Pong. They don't listen to none of that stuff. I just mentioned the economic circuit. They don't listen to that. How money works, they don't listen to that. How history works, they don't listen to that. Huh? Visual politic, even though I didn't like the way they covered the Israel thing, because of course they don't listen to that. They don't watch that. Visual economic, they're not watching that. Caspian report, they're not watching that. Huh? None of it. They claim lefty, they don't watch the second thoughts, they don't watch the majority report, they don't watch none of it. Huh? Want to talk philosophy, they don't watch Then and Now, they don't want none of it. Huh? Some more news. Mr. Z could go on forever. You have social media, you have the internet, and all y'all really doing is watching gender war stuff and entertainment stuff. Reviews of Mr. Z forgot. All of the who killed who. Now they will watch some stuff about who killed who. Huh? Now they will watch that. Huh? Some man that stalked a woman for 3 years type thing. Oh, they're gonna watch that. And deleted her. Oh yeah, they gonna watch that. Huh? Man in the bushes type stuff. Huh? Yeah, Snapped. Exactly. Exactly, Mr. Donnie Mac. That's what they want. They watching Snapped. Huh? And Joe says they watching Cardi B eating salted fish. Look, they all over the Cardi B and what's his name broke up. As a matter of fact, I saw something and one of the women were like, "Well, no, we just were happy that Cardi B got away from and then you know he just got her outside and now she outside." No, that's not how y'all were talking, huh? Y'all were talking like Offset was the worst and it's the best thing, and now she gonna go out and live the happiest life with what's his name, right? For those of you that don't know, apparently Cardi B broke up, or her and Buddy Roll broke up, and someone said there was a meme that said Cardi B lost Cardi B lost a husband and a boyfriend in 7 months or something like that. Huh? It was the heavyset brother. The one that does the horns and stuff like that when he be checking the women. It was on his channel, I want to say. Because they had the laugh track in the background. Huh? And so now the women cop and please. Because of course they are. Because they're talking this gender war stuff for points. We telling them, hey, you do realize you about to be hurting, right? You do realize, hey, that gender war stuff for you, it's some type of relief for you because you don't got no damn man. And so you like feeling like you bringing black men in particular down to size. We telling you about to be hurting. Huh? What you're doing and what we're doing is two different things. Huh? Ugly Money. Yeah, I think that's the brother channel. Huh? Oh yeah, the football player Stephon Diggs. Yeah. So Cardi B and so you went from Offset to Stephon Diggs in the matter of 7 months already. That's worse than Jenny Mai. Goddamn. At least it was in marriage twice. Huh? Paul Wilson says, I thought Yvette was, yeah, when Yvette had the dress, she was all right. And Paul Wilson says, I thought Yvette was halfway cute until Dr. Boyce Watkins screamed on her concerning her orientation and her racial preference, right? Oh, she date white women? I don't know. Right? Either way, did you see that debate with him and her years ago? She was still rocking the dreads. And she, to me, she won that debate. Huh? They debated black, was it black money or was it black capitalism or something like that? And she won that debate because she had Boyce Watkins on that Hopi changing stuff. And look, when you debate people and you leave them with well, I don't want to tell people that because okay, so where's the hope? And so what are people supposed to do? Why is he laughing so hard? Because Z done did it before. Huh? As a matter of fact, Z did that on Shay Sade's channel. Huh? Shay might remember it was years ago, years and years ago. And it was a young lady, and this is when Shay first started really making waves on her channel. And I want to say the young lady name was Southern Belle or something like that. Some light-skinned black woman who was in a relationship with a white man. I think she might have even been married to him. And Shay had a conversation with her, and then she opened the lines for anyone to talk, and I was speaking to her, and I kind of, y'all know how Mr. Z talking, how Mr. Z debate, and after I left her with nothing, then she went to, well, I don't want to take the hope away. Yep, there we go. Yep, y'all don't care about nothing concrete. It's about hope. It's about the way you feel. I don't want to. Yep. There you go. Huh? Yikes. That's the same thing Yvette did to Boyce. I ain't gonna lie. Look, I don't rock with Yvette on everything, and there's definitely things actually that I somewhat even agree with Boyce on. Not Tariq called it what? Hey, when Tariq was going at Boyce, it was the funniest thing in the world. And now it's all bygones be bygones, but man. Huh? But on that debate with Yvette and Boyce Watkins, no, Yvette washed Boyce. It might still be up. I wouldn't be surprised. Look for it. Yvette versus Boyce. Yvette was still rocking her dreads back then. Huh? Afro Merchants said, keep Cope alive. Look, I'm not about dimming people's light, about telling people the most insane, depressing thing just because. That's not right. With that, when you using hope as a cope, which is what a lot of this is, I can't rock with it. Right? Oh, KW Don says Yvette's engaged to a white woman. Okay. All right. I didn't know that before. Actually. And Lion says, about to be a whole lot of pain in the system applied to women. Yep. I think so. And that's not something Mr. Z wishes for them or wants for them. I think being naive, I think not paying attention to what's going on. That's why I mentioned everything I mentioned earlier, all the different channels Mr. Z is subscribed to. You're not paying attention to none of this stuff. So you don't know you don't know any of this. Right? Like Mr. Z goes to the researchers to find out this stuff. Man, y'all know Mr. Z and how much I work and whatnot. I look these things up, and then I look at who looked up. Where I go for the information, I go check where they say the source is. And so if A at the table says this is from Linden Tree, Mr. Z go and check Linden Tree to be like, did they really say that? Okay, where is that? Okay, where's the link for this? It'd be the best thing in the world when they drop the link to be like, okay, all right. So I don't got to go searching too far. Oh no! Oh wait, they did actually say that. Oh, there you go. Where did Linden Tree get it? Did Linden Tree? Oh, Linden Tree got it from Bureau of Labor Statistics type thing. How did they tie that to this? That's what you're supposed to do with it. The women ain't doing none of it. They just talking. Particularly black women. They're just talking. And so going back to what Lion is saying, about to be a whole lot of pain in the system applied to women, and there you go. Huh? Joe said, emotional cope dealers. Yeah, no, we with it, I think I spoke of something, I might have even actually covered it, of this this black young lady who was dating in different men, and they kind of had the whole Regency era theme going. I covered this years ago, maybe 3 years ago at this point, or like 2.5 years ago, something like that. It the Raj Report called it psycho crack, and I thought that was genius. He called it psycho crack. I was like, that, there you go, right? And once again, Joe said emotional dope dealers. And a lot of television, particularly directed towards everyone, men, children, women, but especially women and girls. Oh, it's psycho crack. Z, you want to play the clip before you read KMS's comment? You better believe it. For those of you who've never seen this before, y'all have to have seen this before. But Mr. Z gonna play anyway, because this goes exactly to what we talk about with that psycho crack and emotional dope dealing. Here you go.
If this struck you as unusual when you were watching the series, that's because it was. In scholar Richard Bush's study of 262 so-called domestic situation comedies from 1946 to 1990 at least, he found that just 11% featured heads of household who were working class, i.e. doing blue-collar, clerical, or service work. Malcolm's father, and future drug lord as you may remember, plays a low-level clerical worker. This is despite the fact that most American workers qualify as working class. Back in 1976, scholars Gerbner and Gross addressed this still relevant trend, calling the exclusion of working-class families from television a symbolic annihilation of America's economic realities. The problem is especially bad on children's television, where a scant 2% of characters are depicted as working class. Now, this isn't exactly a coincidence. Showing stable middle and upper class families is good for business, especially if you're making a family-friendly sitcom. And the reason is simple: commercials. According to scholars Zieglinde Lemke and Wibke Schneiderman, as a form of mass entertainment financed by selling commercials to middle-class consumers, it seems logical that the predominant mode of representing class presupposes middle-class normativity. That is to say, watching the kids' skins stick to the seat in a rundown car with a broken radiator doesn't exactly put you in the mood to splurge on that cool new vacuum cleaner or a fancy bottle of cologne. In comparison, watching the Huxtables hang out in a brownstone while modeling yet another sick sweater from a seemingly endless pile brings viewers a sense of economic plenty that they might not feel in their day-to-day lives. Now, obviously, Malcolm in the Middle wasn't the first show to peddle an economic angst.
I'll tell you what they're going to pay you. They're going to pay you what all jobs pay. Less than you're worth, and just enough to keep you crawling back for more.
We saw this as far back as the 50s with the Honeymooners, while the mid-70s brought Laverne and Shirley, and the late 80s saw the debut of America's most famous working-class family on Roseanne. But for anyone with enough business savvy, it just didn't seem financially smart to make a family or children's show about bringing your leftover egg breakfast to school for lunch.
What do you have? Leftover eggs from breakfast?
Which brings us to Disney. In a moment, that is. First, we have to look at 1980, when a broad cultural phenomenon began, the Reagan-era loosening of restrictions on entertainment regulations, including advertising during children's television programming. Now, after a major 70s-era crackdown on advertising to kids, you could only show a limited amount of commercials during children's programming, and were also required to produce educational and informative content for kids. When President Reagan and co. had essentially signed or vetoed all that away by 1984, things changed rapidly. A year after regulation, all of the top 10 best-selling toys had their own TV show. While child-centric product placement had occurred during television's early days, that was really no comparison to this new reality. The insane proliferation of TV character-aligned merchandising was dubbed the Strawberry Shortcake Strategy by Tom Engelhardt. That's thanks to the 1980 show's explosions of licensed dolls, video games, stickers, lunchboxes, and so on. And that reliance on branding would continue to increase from the 90s and on, as corporations realized what a valuable consumer demographic children could be. And though a 1990 congressional bill had reinstated some restrictions on such advertising, the industry had been changed forever. Increasingly, merchandising centered on children's television characters began blurring the line between consuming entertainment and just plain consumerism. And we're not trying to demonize your favorite Lizzie McGuire lunchbox. It's just a little weird. Which is why families like Malcolm in the Middle aren't the norm for places like the Disney Channel. While they didn't start making original live-action shows until the late 90s, they came in hard, quickly crafting what journalists Julia Borston and Alinda Wheat call a tween machine, in which pre-teenagers, and in this case primarily girls, were targeted through lifestyle marketing like the world had never seen. As scholar Morgan Genevieve Blue notes, the marketing was part and parcel with the programming decisions themselves, explaining that Disney Channel personnel worked closely with Disney Consumer Products and Disney Music Group to extend the network's fictional narratives across a variety of media and merchandise for tween girls. This was in order to effectively essentially creep into the lives and life spaces of kids beyond the TV network. And that's according to a presentation given by President and CCO of Disney branded television, Gary Marsh himself. And the way they did it, mostly through appeals to girl consumers. As Blue explains, characters like Hannah Montana promote representations of aspirational celebrity and teen life via fashion and dress-up and musical performances. In this way, according to Blue, franchisable girl star personae both reflects and perpetuates a neoliberal turn in the United States, which privileges a performative and celebrity-oriented form of girlhood as the contemporary ideal, i.e. a girl who has all the products she needs to look and behave a certain way. In the aughts, this often took the form of sparkly clothes, as best seen in Disney's unprecedentedly large expansion into Walmart stores with clothing and lifestyle lines specifically marketed to middle and working class girls. And by 2014, Disney was racking in $3.99 billion of revenue in consumer products alone, driven largely by Disney Channel merchandise. The franchise elements of the Disney Channel explains why programmers need to make shows about securely middle-class families. Doing so both doesn't alienate working-class viewers, while also painting a fantasy of magical middle-classdom where money is never a problem and consumption is a high priority. That is to say, the family on Wizards of Waverly Place may run a humble sandwich shop, but their apartment sure doesn't look that way. As Blue puts it, Disney's texts, products, and promotions may allay anxieties over vast systematic inequalities, in large part by painting an image of a world where families aren't struggling to make ends meet. This, of course, requires ignoring realities, like the fact that 14.4% of American children were growing up below the poverty line as of 2019.
I actually am worried about the future because I just want us to be good and don't have to worry about how we're going to get the next thing or how we're going to get food.
Of course, it's not just Disney and it's not just tween girls being targeted. Cartoon shows like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and The Smurfs were extended through a huge amount of licensed merchandising tie-ins, ranging from films to comics and books to computer games. Scholar Marcia Kinder observed back in 1991 that this transmedia intertextuality effectively eliminates any distinction between the original text, i.e. the show, and the spin-off text and commodities that bank on the show's success, which may be a large reason why children's and family television typically finds its comfort zone in middle to upper middle class bliss, where the biggest problem is your family photo shoot coming out squeaky clean. And there's nothing wrong with that. We love these shows. But it does present a skewed perspective of what American life is like. As Stile Sakira and Larry Osimensa put it, television serves as a tool that continues to mold the public consciousness, in part by fostering a single-minded interpretation of superficial symbolism as an indicator of status and equality. That is to say, by basically suggesting that the right house, the right toy, or the right sparkly outfit can bring you happiness and cement your status as happily middle class, TV reinforces a materialistic status quo. No.
Huh? Going back to what Joe said, emotional cope dealers. Women, namely black women, are consuming a lot of media, mainstream media, and a lot of BS social media, and they're getting hit upside the head with emotional cope dealing. Emotional cope dealers are hitting them all upside the head. Huh? You got Disney, you got Nickelodeon, name them, Fox, and they hitting you upside the head with lifestyle since you were a little girl. Now you 30-something, 40-something years old, 28 years old. 34 years old, 42 years old. And you're just a neoliberal, consumerist, materialistic monster. Huh? No wonder you're moving like this.
Damn! Hey, Shawty. Hey, Shawty, excuse me. Excuse me, Shawty. Can I get your number?
Hello. Insert cash to continue. Hey, how's it going?
What up, Shawty? What's your name?
My name's Sade.
Huh? That's why you're moving like that. Well, one of the reasons you're moving like that. And KMS says, and thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. KMS says, at 2x speed. The way, I think you meant to say the way these chicks are moving, they make it a strong case for prostitution. At least with pros, you get what you pay for, and when you leave, the effing stops. They don't turn around and F you like what happened to Shannon Sharp. Huh? Yikes. Because Homegirl is cute, so we might as well put Homegirl on the stroll if she says she's going to be trying to bend you over. Oh, no. What are you talking about, Z?
I'm submitting to no man that expect me to go 50-50. You want your wife to bear your children, cook, clean, work enough hours to handle big bills, and take care of you? You expecting me to pay big bills, baby. I'm going to want some bussy when I get off of work. Fuck is you talking about? Bend that ass over. Let that bussy breathe. This what you wanted, right? 50-50, right? And I do mean assume the position when I get off of work. As soon as I get off of work, that ass better be tooted up. As soon as he get up off me, I'm going to look at him like, my turn. My turn.
Huh? I'm just saying. I don't know, KMS. I don't. See, what are you saying? I ain't saying I disagree with you, KMS. I'm just saying. Anyway. Huh? Even Riley had something to say about that.
That's how it starts, you know. Taking bitches out to eat, meals and whatnot. Next thing you know, you wake up in a rest haven for hoes. A sanctuary for scandalous skeezers and stunts.
Scandalous skeezers and stunts. Huh? Anyway, I ain't gonna say Kim. I'm just saying KMS might not be wrong all the way. Anyway, moving along. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Huh? I ain't gonna read that out loud line, but that's hysterical. Right? It's just aggressive begging. It's just aggressive begging and sassy begging, name it. Huh? And even that's why I played this clip. That's even black women are starting to call it out. Y'all just begging.
And I'm really starting to think that these women like are unemployed or homeless because every other video clip, podcast, it's like, oh, how much he got? My man got to make 6 figures. My man needs to drive this kind of car. He needs to pay for my bills. He needs to pay for this. How much money? Money, 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 money. And it's like, well, what you got? Because it seems like you don't have any money of your own, which is why you going so hard for his money in his wallet that he worked hard for. That's always confusing to me. Like, what y'all got going on? I'm not saying you need to date a man that don't got any money at all.
Uh-oh. Huh? Mr. Donnie Mac says hashtag rinse due. Huh? Yikes. And Leon says, thank you for the super chat. Lots of pro-black marry white women. Same-sex loving black women marry white women. She isn't the first. That's if it's true. That's if it's true. As let me actually highlight that comment if I could find it. Okay, there you go. And Elston says, I think you meant to say it just sounds like she might have went out with a white woman one time and that turned into she's engaged to a white woman. Yeah, I'm not prying into Yvette's personal life. She doesn't put her personal life online, right? And she doesn't sneak diss or diss men, black men in particular. So, which is crazy. You have the same sex loving black women who don't be trying to jab at black men all the time, every chance she gets. I'm pretty sure you can find 1 or 2 comments where she went sideways, but considering black women, it's light work, right? So because she doesn't go out of her way to throw black men in under the bus, obviously particularly straight black men, Mr. Z ain't prying into her life, and she hasn't made her life public, and she hasn't used whatever relationship she's in to beat up on black men. So there you go. Now, if Yvette was engaging in that, that would be a different conversation, and Mr. Z would have something else to say about that, right? So yeah, thank you for that, Elkston. Right. Right. And Leon says, ladies just need a website that they set prices and subscriptions for their girlfriend wife services. Literally, so when I end my subscription, well, she goes on her way. She goes on her way. I get what you're saying. Huh? Right? Man. Look, yeah, no, I agree with this. God damn, y'all, 2 hours and 45 minutes. Look, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Mrs. Z about to end it all now. Mrs. Z was not trying to stream this long. I said just the afternoon stream, not an afternoon and night stream. That was Miss Z I called earlier too. Where you at? Huh? But yeah, y'all. So once again, yeah, I covered these things to say winter is coming. Shout out to Kevin Samuels, rest in peace to Kevin Samuels. We will be covering, hopefully, the man keeping thing. I'm gonna use a TYT clip to jump that off. And we will be speaking of the upcoming doom, the impending doom. We gonna go a little doomer. I'm hoping that that's a Friday stream. As of right now, Mr. Z doesn't have anything crazy going on Friday, so we should be able to do that stream, and it won't be a reckless stream. Yeah. So there's that. So that's the plan, right? So we'll end it out on here. So we'll pause right here. Love piece of chicken grease, and no, Leon. As a matter of fact, let me say this to Leon. Leon, I checked out the whole. I watched the whole thing, and bruh. So real quick, let me, for those of you that checked out the Ole and Friends joint with the TRANSs. Yes, there was a stream with the TRANSs, including what's her name? The famous one, the super famous one. What is her name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. The famous black TRANS. Oh man, I forgot her name. Somebody gonna put it in the comments. But yeah, bruh, Quay Tan was annoying as hell. Like, look, this ain't my forte anyway. This ain't Mr. Z type of, whatever anyway. But Quay Tan, bruh, get off the drugs, bro. I don't know what you want. Like, just annoying, interrupting, and then make, bro. Okay, you got a high mileage bussy hole. Nobody care, bro. Laverne Cox, yeah, man, was saying that last name. We're just gonna say Laverne. Laverne, yes, Laverne. Yeah, was on. And they talking about their white worship. Uh-oh, huh? It was very interesting, weird conversation amongst a bunch of TRANSs. It was, yeah, it was bearable. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. It was bearable, except for Quay Tan. Annoying ass. Shut the hell up, bro. That's interesting. Leon said, bro, just interrupting, trying to cut. Look, man, we don't care how big. Look, there was a point where she mentions, essentially, she done been with a bunch of MAGA. He done been with a bunch of MAGA dudes, but at least she got money for hers, or something like that. She said, ain't nobody care what you talking about, bro. Just annoying. just interrupting, annoying, just bruh, you okay. How am I going to say this without being the most offensive person on the face of the earth? There's bad and then there's worse. There are certain people that you suspect may have some type of mental issue, and maybe that's why they did or do what they do. And then there's other people you ain't questioning nothing. They start talking, and oh yeah, yeah, you got something's really up with you. Yep, that's why you went down that road. I could tell. Huh? This Quay Tan was just look, Mrs. Z listening for the information and for the perspective. Quay Tan just made the thing unbearable. Just shut the hell up. Nobody cares about your MAGA penetrated high mileage bussy hole. Seriously. You sound like you're coping, ma'am, sir. At least the other one sounded some type of sane. Z, what did you just say? I know what I said. At least the other ones did a really good job at sounding some type of sane. I know. Quay Tan, on the other hand. Look, I'm gonna end it on out. Now, look, half of my subscribers throwing up right now. Z, so you telling me you listen to a stream with TRANSs talking about their relationship to white men? Yes. Oh man, the thing was funny, y'all. It was hysterical. It was hysterical. And Leon says, Z, we have to have a conversation about this before we say too much. Look, true, true. We're gonna have to get all that stuff. Because when you sent me your number, Leon, and I was like, damn, I had stuff to do and I didn't. By the time I had a chance, it was way too late. But yeah, hey y'all. Oh, I'm only laughing because it was. There's like I said, there's bad, and then there's worse. You listen. It was actually an interesting conversation seeing these folks who used to be who were men or boys and transitioned for all that is to women, and listen to them have a conversation about something Laverne said about the greatest love of her life. Well, remember, Laverne is late 40s. Greatest love of her life was a 20 some odd year old, 25, 26-year old white MAGA police officer, right? And watching these TRANSs grapple with that, no pun, was like hysterical. And many of them are, social justice, and they're the faces of that particular lifestyle. Um, and watching them talk about this and like give Laverne some talking to, minus Quaytan, of course. Popcorn. It's hysterical, right? Yeah. So Mr. Donnie Banks said just stop. Look, man, I watched it and I was like, no, I didn't watch it. I was listening to it. But yeah, hysterical. So yeah, damn you, Leon, because I probably would have found that anyway, and I probably would have listened to it also. But I would have prepared myself. I would have prepared myself. But Leon sent it to me, but expedited the process, so I listened to it, and I was just dying. Right? Ugh. And Big Mo says nothing like confirming the heterotism schism laid out in Man Not, like listening to black trans folks who bust open their bussy for white peen. I'm just saying, although Quaytan just tried to do one of those, she was the one doing she was the one been doing the, I don't know which one is which. She was the one having them bend over. Don't throw up your lunch, y'all. Don't throw up your lunch. Because of course she had to frame it like that, ego and whatnot. And we gonna end out, y'all. I ain't gonna torture y'all with this conversation. It When you hear other black folks and what they got going on in their life, sometimes it's what y'all do. You know what? I don't want to know. It's definitely one of those. Wait, what y'all? You know what? I don't want to know. It's one of those when you open the door, you're like, oh, nope, 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 nope. Close it, slam the door back. Don't worry about it. I'm out. Oh man. Mr. Tony Max says, oh, so you doing the bending. Shout out to Janet Jackson. She was actually really pretty in that movie. Janet was actually really pretty in that movie. I'll give it to her. And in that movie, they had her looking right. But that was funny when she said, so you doing the bending. Oh man. But yeah. Leon says, bruh, I emailed you, Z, and said, close your eyes and just listen. Hysterical. Oh man, look, y'all. I already told y'all this is Mr. Z could tolerate a lot. I meant it when I said it. I listened to there was a perspective because it's fascinating. Listen to these folks grapple with, because remember, they're supposed to be morally superior to us. They transitioned into women. They're and um you know, these folks, they'd like to tie what they got going on with a larger black agenda. Okay, cool, whatever. They're still black. All right, cool. And so they're supposed to be above the European beauty standard and putting white men on a pedestal and chasing after white validation. They're supposed to be above that, remember? So listening to them grapple with that because of something Laverne said, you know, and watching them debate it out, yeah, fascinating. Hey, Mr. Donnie Mac. I'm just saying there was some. Ask Leon if I'm lying. There was some subtle, not so subtle admission to that race play part of what you saying. Uh-oh. Huh? And Telescope says Z looks for sanity and logic in the heart of the insanity. It's funny because it's true. Say that. And Saint Cyr says the gays and theys tell on themselves every time. Every Saint Cyr, every time, bro. I thought all these folks were supposed to be above it. I thought they were supposed to be better than us. Huh? Meanwhile, y'all the ones that's being called the N-words during Triple X Fun. Y'all the ones that's trying to get validated by these folks. Huh? Y'all the ones engaging in relationships with these folks. Huh? In whatever little weird ass ways y'all have to justify it, so be it. But stop talking like y'all better than us. Huh? Hey, you see what I'm saying, Leon? I'm just saying. Leon said 6'5". Yeah, and that was the thing, because Laverne said he was 6'5" and he was blonde and blue-eyed. Are you okay? Oh, look, all of y'all are trying to, and all of them talking about, you know, secret fun and people not wanting to be seen with them in public. Oh yeah, Cat Black was there too. Cat Black didn't do that much talking, funny enough. Um, but yeah, it was just, look, funny. All these people supposed to be better than us, remember? All of them talking about having to be hidden and doing things with black dudes and white dudes, but the white guys are more likely to be seen in public with you because, and it sounded just like black women. Huh? So on that note, I ain't gonna torture my subscribers too much more. I'm sorry about that, y'all. It was an interesting conversation, though. If you're gonna do it, I would say same thing that Leon said to me. Listen, put your headphones in. Don't listen to it around the kids. Don't listen to it around the kids. Because there's some perspective there, and it informs you on some of the stuff we already think, which is these folks are okay. So, barring what we already think, they're dealing with some demons. Z, like, duh. No, but I'm saying they're dealing with other demons. And, like, being accepted and validated by the folks, them folks, you could see that that's a thing. And a lot of them are going through the motion of trying to get over that European beauty standard that you would think that those folks wouldn't even be subscribed to. But alas. Huh? Hey, I'm saying, Leon. Hey. And Leon says, the white man paid my rent when I got fired. I heard it. Huh? So I continued to listen because, yeah, like Telescope said, Mr. Z trying to find the sanity in some type of insanity. But yeah, that I thought they were supposed to be better than us. I thought they weren't on none of that. They didn't subscribe to the European beauty standard. Meanwhile, they're trying to get validated by white dudes. And once again, the same thing we said before. Y'all want straight white men. What the hell? I want a cis white man. Wait. Oh. So you like the women. Thank you. That's exactly where I'm going, Mr. Donnie Mac. They want to be Miss Cartwright too. Exactly. That's exactly where I was going. That's why I just mentioned that. The cis white dudes. Huh? So on that note, y'all, Mr. Z ain't gonna torture y'all much longer, and we already hit the 3 hour mark. Mr. Z was even trying to do 2 hours, so we'll pause right there. Literally, this whole second part of the conversation is a whole pause moment. We'll pause right there. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content, for the love of God. I ain't telling y'all to listen to the same thing Z listen to all the time because, but yeah. Shout out to Leon. Leon, I'm gonna get you back for that. I'm gonna get you back. Man, Leon caught me out, and my dumbass stood there and listened to it for real. Saints said peace and pause. You hear me? So we'll truly pause right there. Literally. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content, for the love of God. All right, y'all. Mr. Z out.